You know what I see quite a bit once in a while before pre-COVID was I see Sugar Ray at the golf tournaments.
He looks good,
Sugar
man.
Ray could fight right now, bro.
Sugar Ray
still looks like he's 40.
He looks great.
Fantastic.
I just went on vacation. My lady and I went on a couple's vacation with some other couples, and Sugar Ray was supposed to be there with us, and then his sister got sick, so he couldn't make it.
No, he looks great.
Sorry about that, bro. Just
No, you
You know what's
Don't
really
trip, we
funny?
got you.
When you see Tommy Hearns, you ever see how big his hands are? I got big hands. His hands are like meat hooks.
I always like Hearns, a hitman. Oh,
Floyd
Motor City
Mayweather
Cobra,
won't
Motor
play
City
with Tommy
Cobra,
Hearns.
brother.
No.
Tommy Hearns will walk him down and beat him.
Well, how about him and Hagler when they had that fight?
I was ringside.
You were you, bro?
With my the only reason I got
Wow, 3
ringside.
rounds.
Remember that
That's
shit,
with
bro?
Sly.
3 rounds.
That was a war.
Why, what did your
right
brother
there,
do?
bro.
Yeah, he was just there.
I never heard of him.
I never heard of him.
But you, I know.
I would go to the fights with Sly. That's why I got privy to ringside seats. Me, I couldn't even get in the fucking place. You know what I mean?
Great. You went to some good fights then, bro.
I was there. Oh, I saw them all. I
Iconic,
saw
man.
Cootie, Holmes.
Is that right?
Yeah, but close. Because, you know, in those days, they'd let the celebrities
That was
in.
85.
I got to tell you, man.
That was
when Tommy
88.
came out of the
Right
corner,
there, yeah,
he hit
bro.
Marvin. He hurt him. And
Yeah,
cut him.
I know he did. I'm Richard Ketty's day. And I go, man, I Tommy. And then Hagler was standing in the corner in between. Remember, he used to do this? He hit his head. I go, Tommy's in fucking trouble now.
Well, we lost Hagler last year.
Remember when
that was a shame.
That was a
it
shock.
really was.
He
That
was
was
a
this
great-
year, wasn't it? Or
This
was it-
year, yeah, you look great.
No, this
too,
year.
man.
This year, a few months ago.
He was a great. He was a. You know what? I used to see him fight in Philadelphia. And Philadelphia had 4 middleweights. Nobody wanted to fight.
Benny Briscoe.
Benny Briscoe, Bobby Boogaloo Watts, Monroe
Boogaloo
Brook,
Watts.
Willie the Worm Monroe,
Willie the Worm.
and Cyclone Hart. 4 killers.
Yeah.
He came into Philly and fought every one of them. And he lost to a few of them, then came back and beat their ass.
Yeah.
He was a man's man. Marvin was
He was
tough.
from Brockton, right?
Brockton.
Brockton.
Well, he's actually from Newark. But
Is he?
after the riots in Newark, his mother moved into Brockton. But he was more Italian than me because of the Petronelli brothers. He spoke.
And he ended up living in Italy.
I know, but he spoke Italian.
spoke
He was
Italian,
like,
yeah.
But
hey, Frank.
he had no nonsense style fighting, bro.
He was
just, you know, he's just a
Did you
boxer,
ever
bro.
see him? Think about it. Watch all the fights. Did you ever see him on the ropes? Ever? Never.
No, that's
he
what I'm saying.
But he was always in the middle. Never. And I used to ask my friend Dave Ravello, who fought Mickey Ward and all. I go, did you ever see him spar? I said, I see him all the time. I go, how was he? Like you said, businessman. Not killing guys.
Forward, always forward, though.
Yeah.
You
Always like in
know?
control.
The prowler, bro, the aggressor. You know what I'm saying? You're the
He was
badass.
aggressor.
Yes.
I think he had knocked Monzon out. I'm serious. I thought
Did he fight Carlos Monzon?
Nah, Monzon fought guys that were half dead.
Yeah. Did he fight Nino Benvenuti?
We'll cut that out.
He knocked Nino Benvenuti out.
did, right?
But
Yeah.
Benvenuti was too good looking to be a fighter because he had all the girls and
Those
stuff.
Argentinian guys.
No, he's Italian.
No, I thought he was an Italian from Argentina.
No, Monzon's Argentinian. Yeah.
Where was Benvenuti? I thought he was an
Italian.
Italian from Argentina.
No, he was from.
He was an Italian
He's from
Italian.
Milano.
Oh. Did you
Yes.
ever learn Italian from your father?
Poorly.
That's fair.
Because they wouldn't let us speak Italian.
Right.
Say, Frank, you speak English, you get a job. I said,
My
what?
dad was the opposite. Don't forget your fucking language. He
Well,
would
you know,
slap
I
us, bro.
wish
He
I
would slap
would.
us, bro. You know.
But I see
Where'd you
that
grow up
here,
in
like
Philly?
with the Latinos.
Dodger Stadium.
Most of the
Sorry,
Mexican
but
Americans all can speak, or they're all, mostly all bilingual. But the Italians, you know, because they came over on the boat, and the thing was, in those days, if you could not speak English, you couldn't get a job. So, no, speak it that. My grandfather could speak one, been here 70 years, couldn't speak one word of English.
Mine too. My grandfather.
Franging.
I forgot my Spanish just out of spite of my dad, bro. You know what
I
I'm talking
remember
about?
going to my grandmother's every Sunday, and all the adults spoke Italian to each other.
Yeah.
But we never picked it
Could
up.
your father understand?
Oh, absolutely.
Your
Fluently.
could he speak?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. That's all they spoke.
And do you remember, like, my
And his
grandfather?
mother and father couldn't speak English.
No, my grandfather, Sylvester.
But we never picked it up.
Yeah, he was a
Right,
barber.
right.
And he'd sit there like this, and they never saw him without, even when he was retired for 15
They
years.
dressed, always dressed.
Shirt and tie, sitting at home. I go, what the fuck?
Really?
Like, but white socks. I never got the white socks. Everything was perfect.
Your
except,
dad was a
like,
barber, right?
my father was a hairdresser. My grandfather was a barber. My Aunt Rose was a barber. My cousin Mark. My Uncle Danny worked with my grandfather. His Silvestro's barber shop. And he'd sit there like this, and he'd smoke like this with a cigarette holder like this.
Betty Davis style, right, brother?
Yeah, like this. Yeah, like Davis. And he would never, and he would do like, in those days it was different. He would sit at the end of the table, even though he didn't speak English. and he always had the biggest bowl of pasta.
Right.
And he always had the wine here. He always had the wine like at those big jugs, Mogan David
Yeah,
or
yeah.
where fucking on the ground.
The one with the little finger hole.
Yeah,
to
with the
hold it, pick
finger
it up.
hole, and he would delve it out. It was probably cheap shit they made in the basement, you know.
It was I lived in an Italian neighborhood in Toronto.
There's this biggest Italian community in the United States, other than Italy, in Toronto.
Yeah,
Like
so-
400, 500,000
Yeah, in
Italians.
Woodbridge, where I lived.
Yeah.
And I knew all about it because I remember going to my neighbor's house, my neighbor Rocco. I went into his basement and I go, dude, there's fucking meat with mold on it. Take that down. He goes, no, that's prosciutto. I go, yeah, but it's got mold. He
It's
goes,
green.
He goes, you cut the mold off and then you eat it. I
That's
go,
it.
I'm not eating fucking prosciutto again.
Oh, when they used to
Right.
when they used to age the steaks, it was like green. It's like stalagmites and shit. And then you cut it off, it's supposed to be good.
Yeah, it's a fun that.
These Italians, the old ones were characters, though, man.
And every garage in around September, every garage would be open on my street, and everybody's making sauce because they all grew tomatoes in their backyard.
yeah.
Is that
Now,
right?
I
Yeah.
call it sauce. Who calls it gravy? Gravy's like Irish stew, isn't it?
Gravy's
I call it
to me,
gravy.
gravy's brown.
I call it gravy. My
Do
family
you
calls
really?
it gravy. Yeah.
Is that right?
Is that weird? We always called
Gravy,
it
yeah.
sauce.
Yeah, the Italians call it sauce.
Yeah. But some call
Some
it...
Italians. My grandmother always called it gravy.
Did she
Whoa.
really?
Yeah.
In Italian, she called it gravy, right? Did she speak English or no?
No.
So she just, the only word was gravy.
Yeah. Well, they said, is the gravy done? Is the gravy? I remember that.
Is that funny?
Yeah.
I know. Because there are a lot of people that call, like in Philadelphia, a submarine is called a hoagie.
Or a hero
In
in
New York, it's a hero.
Oh,
or
hero.
something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, a wedge.
Yeah.
Wedge. Wedge or hero.
Like my grandmother would make pizza, but it was this thick and it was square.
Yeah, always square. The neighborhood, when they would make pizza, it was thick and square
And
as well.
some people, I don't like the real thin. I like it when it's got a little something to it.
Right,
How about
yeah,
you?
That's the
something like-
Sicilian
Do you
style,
like it
the
real
thick
thin?
one.
No.
I don't like it real thin.
That the Sicilian one you brought yesterday?
Yes.
That one's great.
Is it thick?
It's thick.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a
Right,
place
yeah,
called
yeah,
Pizza
Gino
Wagon in
East.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
What?
Gino,
Fucking
we used to have
incredible.
that in Chicago. It was called Gino East. Gino
Oh,
East.
Gio-
dish. It was really good.
There's Giordano's.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I only
There's
ate it one time. It was
Giordano's and there's
good, brother.
Luminalti's.
That was good stuff.
Those are crazy. Those thick, the
Thick one.
deep
I don't like
dish.
deep dish, but they were really good.
No, I
Those
like-
are
I
tasted
like-
like butter. It tasted like butter. It was good,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Yeah.
You know, when
Really
I was
good.
down in East LA, the guy I was working with, guy goes, Frank, you ever how do you say tongue in Spanish?
Lengua.
He goes, Frank, you ever had lingua? I said, no, I don't. What lingo? What lingo? I go, no, you're trying. And I said, fuck it. It was the best sandwich. It's cow tongue.
Oh, yeah, my
It's
mom
not
used
like they put a tongue on like a piece of fucking bread, like a big cow tongue. It's like ground up.
Well, when we were growing up,
really good,
bro.
though.
We were very poor, but very poor, and that was like a cheap meat you could buy. You
But it's
dig?
good.
My mom would make tongue growing up.
It's like the Mexican version of Spam.
Hey, no, I love spam. I love spam. To this day, I eat spam, homeboy. To this day, my wife on Sundays, I eat spam with
Yeah,
eggs.
that
and some
shit's so
cheese.
salty.
People love that
But
shit.
you have to fry the eggs. They just have to be fried, bro. That's the way
People
I like
love
it.
fried
Yeah.
spam.
You know, I love spam.
Yeah,
That
in
company-
Hawaii, you can get a spam omelet at IHOP.
What?
A spam omelet at IHOP.
That sounds good.
You know what's weird? It's like the worst shit. I used to do deliveries at a slaughterhouse, and it's like the stuff that nobody wants. That's why they
That's
make the
what I
fucking
heard. That's what I
spam.
heard.
It's like a bucket of like shit.
lips and
You just, like,
assholes.
yeah, and they make it.
Calm
put-
down with that shit.
And they put it in it's like in Philadelphia,
I
scrapple,
want us to eat that shit. It's
like
good.
scrapple.
Enjoy your assholes, cabrón.
My guy goes, "Come on,
It's a sharp
Frank,
taste, man. You know.
we're having a picnic," and I go, "Do you have fucking Vienna sausages? That's the fucking garbage."
No,
or,
I don't like those. Those I can't get.
or Underwood's deviled ham.
I like that.
But you know what? When you don't have money, man, it tastes
Listen,
good.
watch that, man. Watch
We
that.
had
I still eat
everything
that.
that nobody could. I mean, we had it pretty,
But it's good,
It
man.
was good. No, but I tell you, man, some of the things that I grew up with, I still have now. My wife goes, "This is poor people food." I go, well, "I was
Yeah,
poor."
we likes it.
Yeah, the same
we
shit.
likes
'cause,
it.
You know.
You make it in life, and when I'm on the road, I ask Eddie. The first thing I look for is a diner. I want a diner. I don't want.
Yeah.
They're like, there's a nice place here. I go, where's the diner?
Right.
The
I want
Greeks
my
got
fucking
that diner
diner
thing down, man.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you have a big population of Greeks in
Yeah,
Toronto.
telling
I
the
used to work
truth,
in a Greek
man.
restaurant. I learned a lot of Greek working in there.
The Greeks are like crazy Italians. Hey, Frank, remember like John Belushi on Saturday Night Live? Coke Pepsi, Coke, get out of here.
Yeah, he's
They're all
Albanian, right?
Yeah, but they're all hyper, the
Yeah.
Greeks, and they all have like too much gold around their neck. I go, what do I, what do I, Frank, what, my friend? And he'd be yelling at someone. I go, well, listen, George, Frank, hold on. But they're crazy, and they used to go to Atlantic City, and they gamble like, oh man,
Like they were Asians.
oh fuck, and they leave. They're like old Sicilians. Like the wives stay home. Now we go to Atlantic City. There's like 90 of them, all their cousins. Because in the diners, it was all cash. They made a lot of money.
Oh yeah, they did.
Well, they're open 24 hours, and everyone that works there is a relative. They bring over from Greece, like Saturday Night Live, the Greek diner.
Yeah, they're either a relative or they're illegal.
Yeah.
One or the other.
But they all, remember, it was all cash. I said, do you take credit card? Credit card, my friend. No, get out of here, credit card.
wants
There's
to
still a
spend?
lot of places still take cash only.
I don't think Rayo's doesn't
cash
take-
only in New York City. Yes.
Is it really?
Yes. Yes. A friend of mine's hamburger joint, cash only.
That's how you hide the money, brother.
They said, "Hey, we don't have cash. I got a credit card."
Hey, you gotta do
The
something,
ATM's
right?
right behind you,
Wasn't
buddy.
Peter Luger's cash too? Was
Really?
At one time?
Yeah, you
I
can't
don't
have
know.
these
I work with
high-end
people,
places
so they
as
pay.
cash.
I don't give
That's
a
too
shit.
much money to have on you.
You know what's funny? I don't care who you are. You ain't getting in Rayo's if you don't. You either got to be fucking mobbed up or know somebody.
Where's that place we go to, Chuck? when you
And there's
come
what,
in
only
here?
like 8 tables
That's
in
one
there?
in
Huh?
Rayo's.
Only like 6 or 8 tables in Rails.
I don't know.
right?
I've never been to the one in New York.
It's real,
How big
real
is
hidden
it?
over here.
As big as this room.
Like
Is
6
it
or
as
8
big as
tables,
the main
right?
room in Rayo's out here or smaller?
Smaller.
Smaller. It's as big as when you first walk
Yeah.
in to the left. That's how big.
When you go
New
in
York
that place,
City
bro,
is.
it's all about respecting that place, bro. I've
Oh,
been there a few
absolutely.
times.
Where's that?
The Rails is called this one.
That's the one in Hollywood. But
That's
the
one-
original one is in New York City. It's
there's
been here
one. When you go in there,
125
bro,
years already.
You just go. It's all respect there. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Good
I
food.
like that.
125 years, no credit cards.
No credit card.
You
But
know
let
what?
me ask you, I
they
mean-
predated credit cards.
Was that one time, because we were talking about Joey Rayo was a killer, was a hitman. The relative. No, I mean, they're talking the 20s and 30s. If you saw a picture of him, he'd scare you to death like this.
Well, they have pictures up there in that restaurant. They really,
Oh, yeah.
There's
They
some
put
nice,
all-
nice
there's a
pictures.
church-
bro.
First one,
corner in
the
there.
first one was in New York City
Okay.
on 114th Street. And the second one they opened up in,
The 20s?
Little Italy?
no,
No?
in Vegas. Caesar's Palace.
But isn't Chuck the
That's the
original
second
one?
one.
That's the original
The
location.
original one is in New York City.
Why is it so hard to get in?
Because it's small.
It's just
you imagine if you
have
go
to-
with Chuck, you get anywhere with Chuck,
can't-
bro.
You cannot just, go
Walk
in
in.
there.
You gotta know
I mean,
somebody,
yeah,
right? That's
yeah,
what- pretty much,
absolutely.
yeah.
Can you
Can't
imagine
get
the
a table.
Can you
Everybody
imagine
has
the,
everybody owns their tables.
Now let me
Like
ask you.
you'll have it Monday, I'll have it Tuesday, you'll have it Wednesday.
But Chuck, was that neutral ground for the mob family? In other
Yeah,
words,
yeah, everybody
so in other
used
words,
to
you get guys come in like Persico or this, and they would.
Yeah.
That was like kind of neutral
Yeah, it was
territory.
neutral.
We're eating dinner. No business
No
today.
killing.
No business
Yeah.
today. It's dinner time.
The greatest potpourri of people I ever saw was at Columbus.
Columbus,
Cafe,
yeah.
The best. I would go to New York and
Columbus
stay at the
Circle?
Mayflower. Yeah, Columbus. I mean, the
Columbus
Columbus
restaurant.
Cafe.
Oh,
Cafe.
Columbus
Well, it was actually, the original was Cafe Central.
Cafe Central. I would go. I swear to God, I'd fly to New York just for that. I'd stay at the Mayflower. I could walk around the corner. It was the greatest place because you'd see in one corner, you'd have like the fucking Colombo family. In this corner, you have a bunch of Fanokes. And then this corner, you'd have like Brezhnikov and all the artsy fartsy people. And Paulie Herman was the master of ceremonies.
I love Paulie.
We just went to dinner the other night. Me, Jimmy Russo, Pete.
How's Paulie doing?
Paulie just went back to New York Sunday. He
Paulie's
goes there
gotta
for
be-
the summer.
Paulie's got to be 81.
No, he's not. He's
No, no,
late
he's-
70s, though.
Yeah.
Is Charlie still around?
Yeah, Charlie's still around.
They're great.
Yeah.
I used to go there, man. I remember I sat there drinking. That's why I used to really
Oh,
drink.
that's it right there. The
Yeah.
Rayos in New
Yeah.
York, yeah.
With Brezhnikov. He used to go in the cafe.
Only
Columbus.
75. His birthday's coming up next week.
Paulie?
Yeah.
No.
He's born in
that's it.
46.
He goes, that's
Hard
it.
road, man. Fuck. I thought he was like 86.
Yeah.
That's
but
the
you
difference
know
between
what?
a Jew and Italian, I guess.
Oh, yeah. And I remember sitting with Brezhnikov, and he used to. I said, here's the greatest ballet dancer
Yes.
in the world. Smokes like 2-3 packs of Camel non-filters a day. Drinks like a fish. So we're sitting there. I said, Misha, I said, who do you think's the greatest dancer ever? And he says, Fred Astaire.
Is
I
that
go,
right?
really? I go, why? He goes, because he was great at everything. He could do
Right,
ballroom, tap dance. He goes, I think he's the greatest dancer
could-
ever. And that's coming
Imagine
from
that.
him.
Coming
He can
from
sing
him.
and dance in the rain,
Saint
right,
Fred
brother?
Astaire.
Yeah, but I mean, he said, but he was good at everything.
Right,
He
dig it,
was
yeah, man.
good at adagio, good at everything. Michael Jackson even said that too.
Is
He
that
thought
right?
Fred
Is that
Astaire was the
right?
greatest dancer.
Yeah,
Well, because
yeah.
he could do everything,
Yeah.
you know? And it's, you know. But I miss New York. It's so sad. I mean, I heard it looks like Escape from New York, Chuck. I heard it's really
over-
bad.
LA is like that.
They
man.
told me there was over 300 moving trucks in one day in New York City. Everybody getting out. And over 9,000 stores closed.
Really?
And this mayor's such a putz. When you think about it, with all the murders and crime, just didn't do anything. It's
Nothing.
like the guy out here. They don't do anything. The cops are quitting left and right. I would.
It's starting to look like New York in the early 80s.
I think it's worse.
Yeah.
Here.
No, in New York.
Oh, in New York.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, remember in the early 80s, it was dangerous as shit. Late
Oh,
70s, early 80s.
Absolutely.
But now you got the
we used
homeless.
to go all the time because Toronto's only an 8-hour drive from
But
New
now
York.
you got all the homeless on top of it.
Oh yeah, it's worse. And you got the drug addicts, and then the people with mental issues. They really need to weed through all this. Figure out who's got a drug addiction, who's got a mental
right,
issue,
you go to
and find the right
straitjacket,
place
you
to get
over
these
here.
people in the right places.
You to fucking
Yeah.
gallows. Next, I mean, that's how you just sit about
That's
it.
what Giuliani did.
You to the guillotine. You fuck, get out of here. No.
Who cares? I mean, what the hell?
Shootings are up 166%.
Do you believe that?
That's insane.
I remember when I used to stand on the street corner and sing in New York City in 1970. I sit right on 3rd Avenue around 58th. My brother chased this fake blind accordionist off the corner. He says, "Get the fuck out of here. My brother's singing here." And I was like hair down to here. And I'm sitting, and it's freezing. And like I had my guitar case open, like a nickel, dime. I'm sitting there singing. But there was a guy, he was playing the accordion like with the cup, with like the 3 blind mice glasses. And my brother goes, "This guy's full of shit." Because every time a girl would walk by, you go, "This guy's not fucking blind." He goes, "Hey, you've been here long enough. Get the fuck out of here, my brother."
You know what?
So I
I
stood
gotta-
on the corner.
You know, I gotta tell you, bro, of all your brother's movies, I love them all. But Paradise Alley, bro, was one of my favorite
what's
all
funny?
time. I love that movie.
Bruce
bro.
Springsteen said it's one of his favorite movies.
It
and
is.
the movie died. It didn't do anything.
You know, but it was about 3 brothers. It's a beautiful story. If you
It's
ever-
funny, though.
I love that movie.
Like my brother's wearing an earring in 1946.
right.
It's a
He has a
goofy.
monkey. He has a monkey.
I know. It's a goofy movie. I mean,
love that
Terry
movie.
Funk.
You sideshow freak. Paradise
There you
Island.
go, bro. There you go, man.
Hey, Frank, do you ever feel like you could have been the 3rd member of Hall & Oates?
Yes, I do.
That would have been a good.
I do. You know, I sang on Daryl's show, live from Daryl's house.
Really?
Well, I've known him since 1968.
It's in
show,
Connecticut,
bro.
right? This house?
No. No, it's in Pleasant Valley, New York. Up.
Oh, it's right by there, though.
Yeah. And so John was in my group, John Oates.
Both of them were.
Yeah, well, Daryl was going to be in. Then he figured, well, these guys aren't making any money. I'm getting married. Forget it. The greatest
don't worry about
selling duo, and it took
sorry,
them that
Buck,
long
so
to get
sorry.
in the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame's full of shit.
Thank you so much.
The Hall of Fame
Why is
is-
Grand Funk Railroad not in? They were huge. 3 Dog Night's not in.
There's a
Love
lot
Dog
of
Nights.
people that.
Jethro Tull's not in.
Thank you.
There's a lot of people they overlook, and I don't understand.
How's Joan Baez getting the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Jay-Z got in this year. I'm a hip hop head, and I don't think that's
But
the
that's
right
not
move.
rock and roll. No.
Again, I agree.
They should have a hip hop Hall of Fame.
They definitely should. There is one, but they've lost the plot now.
Yeah.
They've completely lost.
They
the
lost
plot.
it a long time ago, man.
Eddie Cochran, that's
Everything.
rock and roll. Eddie Cochran, that's real Elvis. That's real rock and roll.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That is a badass movie, bro.
It is.
It's a great
That
movie.
was the first movie
Armand
he ever
Assant.
directed.
Armand Assant was his first gig.
Armand Asante.
Yeah.
The funny story. Armand and he was unknown. And he looked like Sly a little bit.
Yeah.
So we're at Studio 54. And again, the only reason I got in was Sly. I didn't have fucking money. I lived in Trenton, New Jersey in an $80 a month apartment. So I go to Studio 54 and they're starting Paradise Alley. And I meet this chick there, right? And Armand's, I said, fuck. And my brother ditched me, left me at Studio 54. I had nowhere to go. Armand goes, "Hey, you can come stay at my place." So I have this girl. I go to Armand's like little shit apartment that they're renting for the thing. And her and I ended up in the closet. I mean, now how weird is that? Having sex in the
Did you, I was
closet.
going to say, did you bang her in the closet?
Yeah. And she
you know,
goes,
there's-
and then it was like, "Hey, I got to get for work tomorrow." It's like, so I'm sitting there, my pants down in a closet, like until the morning. You're a fucking idiot. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, that's like Joe Dirt, a movie, something like that
you know,
would be in there.
But you know, the convenience of that is if you get her pregnant while in the closet, there's a hanger right there.
That's true. That's true.
That was rough.
But that was Studio 54 was the greatest club ever. You'll never see anything like that alive. I mean, you see the most. I'm not gonna name it, but the most famous people in the world sitting there doing lines of blow off someone's ass. I mean,
listen.
sick.
I heard that everybody would avoid Andy Warhol. Because they'd be like, oh, here he comes, he's got his fucking camera with him. I don't need any pictures of me doing blow or fucking this chick or this. Whatever was going on in there.
He always carried a little camera right in his pocket.
Yeah.
Is that right?
And he would see him like
see him.
smile, and then he would take your picture.
Yeah, I don't think people even gave a shit then.
No, a lot of people would avoid because they didn't want those mountains of fucking blow everywhere in there.
Oh man, that place, and then people having sex up in the seats because it really was a studio. It was.
I remember going down the basement with Liza, and we went in this room, and the guy opened the door, and his name was Hans at the time.
Hans.
Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, is that right?
He goes, how you doing? I'm Hans.
Hans.
And he was going with
Grace Jones.
Grace
That's
Jones.
Right. Whatever happened to the other brother, Lee Canelito, that played the big brother?
Lee Canelito, my brother tried to make a boxer out of him, but the guy
Didn't work out. He was a big dude, right?
Yeah, he's real big,
yeah.
about 6'4", 260.
Yeah.
Trying to make him another Primo Carnera.
Well, no, he could actually fight, but he had no fucking heart. I saw he goes, you're 6'5", you're 260, you hit like a truck. Well, my mom, he's from Texas. Well, my mom.
I didn't know that.
I said, well, your mom's not fighting. You're living in my house for free. Get the fuck out of here. Right? Go back and fix your truck in Houston, you dipshit.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I thought he was an Italian cat, man.
He is Italian.
Oh, he is, but he's from Texas.
Houston. Yeah. And I go, my brother goes, I can't fucking believe this guy. He's fucking this big. He's afraid to fight this fucking idiot. And Sly got him like a 4-page. Remember the thing in Life magazine? It was like 4 pages.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, this guy could have got.
Good looking kid, too, man.
Yeah,
Big,
he was.
yeah.
But he could have done what Jerry Cooney did. He eventually could have gotten a title shot with Sly. And he's like, well, you know, my girl. Sly goes, I'm dealing with a fucking moron here. I said, I know. I told you he's an idiot.
Oh, man.
But he was a good looking guy.
Yeah.
Big dude, man.
Emilio, you were doing stand-up before you were acting?
I was acting. I was doing skit comedy first because see, I come from the streets, but I was a real rough gang guy and all that stuff. Drug addict. I got 31 years sober now, but I was a dope. Yeah, bro. Yeah. It was another one, but he's just the same thing, brother. You know, and his neighborhood, we got along with his neighborhood. He's from El Sereno, but the thing is, I had to break out. My mentor said, nobody can approach you because I was really this mean guy. So I had to do skit comedy to play these characters so I could break out of this mean guy. Yeah. So they put me on stage and you know what, man? I came alive when I was on stage, bro.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
I really he should come back.
You know what it is, though, bro? Is that this is a deal. I charge a lot of money now, and I have to because you know what it is. I feel bad. I can say this, but a lot of these guys, they go on stage, brother, like the Ice House, Laugh Factory, whatever, and they do a killer 30-minute set, and they give them $55, bro. What's up? I get my darn call my dry cleaning, bro. You know what I'm talking about? It's kind of bullshit.
Oh yeah,
it's tough, bro.
I've been doing it 32 years.
You know,
$55.
Well, listen, the way you got to look at it as when you're going to the clubs like that, you're working out.
Yeah.
Nobody pays you to go to the gym, so it's
right.
you got to look at it like that. And yeah, sure, people, you know, I've been on at the Comedy Store, and the lineup has been like me, Bill Burr, Dave Chappelle, Jeff Ross.
Right.
We've all been on the same shows.
You're working on your stuff.
Yeah, but like if you were to pay to see that in concert, it would cost you $500 ticket.
Exactly. I have a good friend of mine is like, see, you know, Gabriel Iglesias, a good friend of mine, Fluffy. I just talked to him right now. You know, I saw him when he first went on stage. Huh? I didn't say. I didn't want to see. Is that cool?
No, yeah, we're real cool.
Yeah, he's a good dude, bro. He has a show. He's doing his Netflix special in Texas. So I was going to fly to Texas next month to go see him, but I got a gig today, so I'll be gone in Mexico for 3 weeks. But anyway, I seen him. When I saw him, I go, the first time I saw him, bro, we go, bro, you got to come out tonight, do some comedy. There's this kid, Gabriel Iglesias. He's funny. You're going to love him. Bro, he killed it. I go, that guy's a, bro, I go, that guy's a star.
Name?
Gabriel, they call him Fluffy. Big cat.
Wait, I think I've seen.
Funny, bro.
I listened on the Comedy Channel. Does he go into his Mexican thing too?
He does a little bit of everything, brother.
You know who does that a lot is George Lopez.
Yeah, yes, he did.
George is funny.
Yeah, George is really funny, bro, yeah.
And he was busting around for a while. And
George been at it 42 years.
Has he really? Mm-hmm. I think comedy, to me, I did it one night because these people were going to beat me up because my set was done too fast. They said, get back. I said, I don't have any more songs to go. Well, fucking do something, all right? And because I played, and I was so nervous, I played the set. It was so fast it was done. And the other act hadn't showed up. Dion from Dion was in Florida.
Dion and the Belmonts?
Yeah. So I get done. I'm like 21 years old, and the guys go, what are you doing? I said, well, I don't have any more songs. He goes, yeah, we got Full House. He's not here yet. Get the fuck on stage, right? I go on stage. I swear on my life, it was almost like I inherited Shecky Green's soul or something, but I had people laughing. I got a standing ovation. So I got fired as a musician and hired as a comic and fucking died. The next day, it was like a corpse. And I said, this is a lonely ass life being a comic, because when you die, it's a...
yeah,
You can't,
you're
no,
dying
you
up
can't.
there.
See, if you
No,
do a
you
movie,
can't hide.
TV show, you can bring the director, the producer, the writer.
Doesn't matter,
But
man.
when you're doing comedy, bro, it's all you, brother, 100%.
I think it's the hardest thing in the world, because
Yeah.
you've seen me live. I can be funny on my stage because
Yeah,
I'm playing guitar, and if something goes bad, I just go into the guitar riff. But I've seen guys like fucking die.
Oh, I've eaten it. I'm 32 years. I think I eat it about 10 times a year still.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I've been with Don. I used to open for Don Rickles.
Oh, I saw that.
That's
That
one
was
of my
wild.
favorites, bro.
But Don would.
Oh, wow, what a trip.
I swear to God, did the same show for 25
Oh,
years.
yeah.
You just mix it around. All you do is mix it around, bro. That's all you do.
Yeah.
Put it in different spots. You
But
know?
I saw George Burns at 90. He had to be 95 years old at Harrah's. Hour 10 minutes. Fucking guy did not miss a beat. He was funny as shit. So I went to the doctor who wanted a
With
blood
his cigar?
sample, a stool sample, and a urine sample. I gave him my underwear.
Hey, you know what story?
But he
made
was
me,
great, man. He was.
You know what story made me laugh in your documentary?
What?
The one about you getting high and then
Oh,
just
my
tuning
guitar?
your guitar
Oh,
on
man.
stage for the whole set. He was just tuning his guitar, but what did
Some
you do?
guy
Acid?
gave me PCP. What the fuck? And I'm sitting there on stage, ladies and gentlemen, Valentine. I came on stage, and I used to play a 12-string. And I was going like, hey, how you doing, man? You know, I did a string, and one of the octave strings was off. So I'm there, hold on. And all of a sudden, the neck starts getting longer, and I can't feel like I can't reach. And then I untuned the whole thing. It sounded like a fucking sitar. I go, thank you very much. And that was it. I didn't even play a song. And my friend Joe Tucci was the one that put that shit in the joint. I said, you idiot.
PCP would do that to you, brother. That was my time.
That
in
was
the
my
80s, bro. Yeah,
that was my only, and that was just laced a little bit. This is 1970.
It's called a lovely. Yeah, they play with some weed and some.
Oh man,
Angel
I said
dust,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
my last.
And then in the 80s, they did ruler blunts with the...
We dip Sherman cigarettes in the juice, suck it up.
The Sherm, right?
Sherm,
Fuck,
yeah.
man, no, that was it for me, man. That, and I remember I did mescaline once, and guess what happened? I was with 3 guys in Philadelphia walking through the city. We walked from night until it started becoming daylight. I swear to God. We walk up the Philadelphia Museum steps, right where the fountain is up there.
Right.
And we're sitting there going, oh, wow, man, it's getting daylight. And all of a sudden, the fountain turned on. And it was like 900 different colors. And they're, oh, well, man, all tripped out. Who would think 6 years later, my brother would be running up the steps? It'd be one of the most iconic
that's pretty
scenes in
badass.
boxing.
Yeah, that's pretty
Here are a
badass.
bunch of stoned out assholes.
No, there's
like,
a statue
What's the
there.
mescaline? What's that one? What is that one? Is that a downer? What is that? Is that like acid or what?
What's that?
Mescaline? Yeah, what
It's
is
like
that?
a psilocybin,
It's
probably.
psilocybin. I mean, it's not really intense, but it's like you get like Indians used to have.
Okay, the
like
peyote.
Yeah, kind of like
right,
peyote.
Kind of
yeah.
mushroomy, too.
Mushroom,
Yeah.
okay, all right, I get it.
And
I
you
got
get
it.
like, but you almost get like goofy. I
Yeah.
mean, we walked around all day, and we ended up that morning. We came walking by. I swear to God, and I went like this.
How about
That's at the Ice House with George Lopez, bro.
Emilio?
Get local. Yeah, brother. Yeah.
Look at you, man.
Wow, there you go.
I used to have some good times, brother. We had some good times. You know what happened
You
was
look like
this-
Sebastian.
Sebastian.
Maniscalco.
Oh, I love that guy's funny, bro. That
Yeah.
guy's a trip. That guy real animated. That guy.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
about
yeah.
you? How old were you that?
I was 30 years ago. I'm 60 right now. No, that was like 40.
He does the big song.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look
38.
how young you were, man.
Yeah, brother. Good times, bro. But see, this is a deal too, bro. This is I could say this shit, right?
Yeah.
What it was is this, bro. You know, when you go on stage, you know, there was always ladies waiting there. You know what I'm saying? I was always married. You know what I'm saying? And so now I was going to the stage just to go do 15 minutes. Really, I was going to go get, you know.
Yeah, that's what we all did it for. I wasn't hot with the chicks growing up. The comedies what got me.
Of course.
Made me accessible.
And then they pump you up so big when you get on stage. They, oh, he's done this, and then all of a sudden you're a star getting on stage. You better kick ass, you know. And then there's always somebody there was always people there. They knew where you're going to be at, and I was always game to go for it, man. You know what I mean? So, kind of.
You don't want to be rude, you know.
I remember when George Lopez introduced you there. He
Yes.
goes, he did this, he did that. He's doing this movie, he's doing that. Man, he should be hosting this show.
Exactly. I was doing that movies back then too, as well, bro.
Yeah,
know,
you
so-
had already done Con Air by this time.
Con Air, and then I had done Traffic. I had done Traffic with
yeah?
Steven
Yeah,
Soderbergh.
Traffic was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Con Air, Chappelle was in Con Air.
Bro,
A lot of people.
Okay, this is before Chappelle was big. So we go to his room. Chappelle would always be smoking, right? And bro, he would just tell stories. He goes, "I want to be a household name, motherfuckers." He would say that back in '95, bro. And you know what? Look at him now.
You know what was funny was Martin Lawrence.
Yes, he was.
Goofy.
Bro. Yeah.
His
yeah.
show was funny though, because he's kind of goofy in a way.
Yeah, you know,
only
Martin
good.
used to box too.
He did.
Really?
Yeah, apparently it was Golden Gloves in D.C. or something at one point.
Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
Wow.
I gotta tell you the story, bro. So we're doing Con Air, right? So we got to fly to his other location. So they had this big
Was
old.
that with Nick Cage?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So we all
That
have
was
to
a great
fly-
fucking movie, though.
But a bunch of stars in there, right? So we're all flying to the next location, and it's raining sideways, brother. We're in Wendover, Nevada, raining sideways. And they're telling us it's going to be kind of dangerous flight. We got to get there because, it costs a lot of money and all that shit. We're all on the fucking plane except Nick Cage. Nick Cage left a day early.
This is not the Con Air.
This is Connor. Yes, well, no, it's a plane. Shoot, it's a real plane going to the next set, right?
Okay.
So we're flying, bro, and then we barely get up, and all of a sudden the engine turns off, bro. It was fucking scary. And Chappelle goes, "Put in the clutch, motherfucker! Put in the clutch."
Oh man, I hate flying. God damn it.
It was ugly that day, brother. Ugly.
I mean, have you ever been in a bad flight?
I've been on many.
And
Many.
it's like I said, you know what? Is it really worth this shit?
Right.
Now I know why the country stars, man. They just bus it.
Yes,
You
yeah.
get those big buses as long as this whole
They don't have to go international. That's why they're
No,
country. Yeah.
no.
This country.
Yeah.
You fly a lot, bro. You're all over the damn place.
I fly every
you're all
other
over the
day
country, all over the
almost.
country,
Do you
bro.
really?
Yeah, I hate it.
Have you ever been in a bad flight, Chuck?
Oh, a lot. A lot.
That's me
Oh,
right
that's
there,
Con
brother.
Air. There you go.
That's me right
Papa.
there with the big old tattoo on the left.
Who's the little yanta beside you?
Huh? 1995, bro.
Who's that big blonde dude?
That's this guy right here, Conrad Goody. He used to play for
Well,
the
that's
40
Malkovich in front, right?
Malkovich
Yeah,
in the
Malkovich,
front,
yeah. That was a great movie. So many stars were there, man.
It was a good movie.
And Malkovich was one of my favorite. Well, he's still one of my favorite actors, and so
He's a really good actor.
and and I was starstruck when I worked with. I really
Danny,
was.
look
man.
at Danny there, too.
Yeah, me, Danny, and Jesse Borrego.
Wow.
Behind the scenes, yeah, that same movie, yeah.
Yeah, how's he doing, man?
He's doing great, bro.
Danny's
He's
a good guy.
Danny's a great guy, man. He's doing,
You know what? Did his dues, did his shit, but
He's doing his taco thing, right?
No,
He's
but
he has all
making
kinds
money.
of things, bro.
Now.
He's
He-
big time.
You cannot not mistake him.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you know exactly who he is.
Yeah. He's very nice, though.
Great guy, brother. We have the same ages, so we do a lot of stuff together, brother. Yeah.
Do you remember when Malkovich, what's the one he did where he played with William Dafoe, played the vampire Nosferatu? Was
Oh,
it
that
not
was,
Kiss of the Vampire? What was it? It was William Dafoe played Nosferatu, a real vampire.
Was it?
Malkovich is the director.
What was that one called, Paulie?
And he went like this. He goes, "Now you have to understand, this actor only works at night," because he knew he was a real fucking vampire. And all of a sudden, his set started. He killed all the fucking actors. Because when they do a shadow,
Shadow them, okay.
So they do a night shoot, and all of a sudden, a fucking cast member would disappear, and William Dafoe would be there like in his coffin.
Wow, look how young he was there, Malkovich.
But he was great. Oh, he was great.
He's always good in everything he does, brother.
He is good.
Yeah, man.
And the thing is, he's not like a tough guy. He's like a nerd. We see in Line of Fire, but he plays a great mentally.
Yeah.
I did a movie with him about 5 or 6 years ago.
You did?
With Malkovich.
Great guy, right, brother?
Is
What
he
a
a
nice
nice
guy.
guy?
Really nice
Great-
guy. I was
no, great
intimidated
guy.
when I met him.
So was I.
Because to me, he's like such a great actor. I was
Yeah.
like, hey, nice to meet you. He said, hey, what do you do? What's your name? Where are you from?
Yeah, that's a good impression. I tell you, bro. We used to love to do. So back then, we had VCRs, and he would love to watch. We'd watch, go to the trailer and watch Cops. He'd go, watch this.
I love
and
Cops.
then he would literally start laughing and fall sideways. That's how funny he hit into the
Isn't it
Cops.
amazing how
bad boys.
stupid shit we watch when we're on the road
Yeah.
that you don't tell anybody?
But it's better back then.
I watch Storage Wars.
I love it.
I like Storage Wars. Nothing wrong with that.
Oh, I love that shit,
And
man.
you know what's good? Guess what I just did, brother? I just did Family Feud, bro.
Did you really?
My episode
The
comes out
celebrity one?
June 20th. Yes, it's a Mayan. I do the show called Mayans MC for the for the past.
yeah. Oh,
so
was
it's-
the Mayans on it?
It was a 5 of
Versus
us
who?
against. It's a group. One religion. One republic. One republic.
Oh, it was
It's a boy band, I guess.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
played
that's
against.
wild,
It's
man.
gonna air in 2 weeks, so you guys are gonna dig it, man. It's fun. My
Did you
favorite
win?
show.
Can't say.
Can't say. Yeah.
When I
Family
did
Feud.
Tombstone, people go, Val Kilmer is supposed to be very touchy, serious actor. I said, fuck. So I walked on the set first day, and he goes, Ed Bailey. And he couldn't have been nicer. He says, man, let's go down and have a drink, man, run the lines. And he couldn't have been nicer. And then when they stabbed me in the movie by accident, the fucking knife didn't go back in the handle.
Oh, he really did stab you?
Yeah. He didn't, not on purpose. It was supposed to be like the stunt knife. I go, fuck. Man, he goes, what's wrong, Frank? I go, man, fuck. He goes, and then he fucking went nuts. He goes, what the fuck? You want me to kill him for real? Jesus Christ. So then the knife kept malfunctioning. I said, I'm gonna fucking die doing this scene. I'm gonna fucking bleed to death. So they put like a block of thick wood under me. So he stuck me, but the thing is, I didn't die. So if they ever do a remake of Tombstone, there's only 2 people left: Kurt Russell and me. That's it, and Sam Elliott.
Yeah, he's all screwed up now.
One of the best movies
He's
ever.
sick, right?
Oh, yeah.
Val's got broke. That poor guy.
I saw him
I know.
at Comic-Con like a year and a half ago.
It's a shame. He's
Terrible,
really
right?
good actor.
He's a great actor, bro. He's a great
Remember
actor.
we played Jim Morrison, The
it was
Doors?
incredible.
Yeah, he's
bro.
really good actor.
Yeah.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah, he's really good. And he was really nice to me. And at the end, he gave me the book that he used for reference called Tombstone from the 20s. And he signed it for me.
That's a badass,
He said,
bro.
to Frank Stallone, Ed Bailey is now immortal. Doc.
Right on. Right
Pretty
on.
cool.
Doc,
man.
wow.
Yeah.
You
I
must have
thought
some
he should
pretty.
have been nominated.
He must have some pretty cool
He was
memorabilia
great.
stuff.
Yeah. I do. I don't know if I have as much memorabilia as Chuck.
Chuck's got some cool shit.
Chuck's got a lot of memorabilia.
He got the best pictures of ever, bro. I never seen so many pictures that you do, bro.
No, you have some memorabilia.
Yeah, I do have some, but you have
What's
a
your
lot,
most
too.
prized possession?
Well, the Rocky belt,
You got the actual one.
one of them.
Wow.
And the gloves from the Ad Wagass battling Nelson championship fight, February 21st, 1910.
Wow.
He stopped him in 40 rounds.
Yeah.
43 minutes.
Yeah.
It was scheduled for 45 rounds, lightweight championship. It was,
Ad Walgas won that fight?
he stopped him in the 40th round after he got the shit beat out.
Where was Battling Nelson from? Was he like, he was
Chicago.
African? Was he? I thought he was from Africa.
No, battling Nelson. No, you're thinking of battling Siki.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Battling
Got my
Nelson was
battlers
from
mixed up.
Denmark, but he grew up in Chicago. And how about
Told
this?
you, he's a historian, man, on boxing.
4-ounce gloves, no mouth guards.
That's just bare fist.
And
right
they went
there.
like this. They said, okay, this fight's scheduled for 45 rounds. And the champion could pick the ref and make the rules. All fouls waived. So they fucking gouging, give him the head, fucking lacing. And all of a sudden, this guy, And I got the gloves from that fight.
That's incredible. What
Yeah.
were they
Wow,
made out of?
right on, bro.
Leather. They're
No, but the
little.
inside. What was inside?
Horsehair.
Oh,
Really?
They were only like
And
6
they were
ounce
hard
gloves,
as
right?
shit.
5 ounce.
5 ounce.
They were
All the weight
hard,
was
right?
here, there was nothing here.
Yeah.
And they could wrap their hands as much as they want. So they used black electrician tape.
Mm-hmm.
And you weren't allowed to wear mouth guards.
Weren't allowed, or they didn't have them.
You weren't allowed. There was no mouth guards.
Yeah, because you remember when
They put cotton in their
Yeah, I
mouth.
put a T-shirt in there, bro. That was
Remember when,
oh, that John again,
when Jack Johnson knocked out Tommy Burns in that
Shit,
in
yeah.
that when Burns did the little trick on him
Yeah.
in that exhibition bout.
Oh, you're thinking of Stanley
Oh,
Ketchel.
Stanley Ketchel, the Boilermaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Stanley Ketchel was 5'8.5", but he was
So he's a
killer.
middleweight.
Killer.
Yeah.
Mean. And he's a Polish guy from Grand Rapids. So he didn't he was kind of a racist guy.
Everybody was fucking
Yeah,
racist
I mean,
back
he used
then.
to carry always carried, fucking Colt 45. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. No,
He
right.
always carried something. So what happened was this. He'd beaten everybody. And him and Jack goes, look, man, Jack always needed money because he was always broke. He goes, listen, we'll do the fight. We'll go to 20 rounds and we'll make a lot of money on the movie rights. Yeah? So Ketchel sent
It's
out.
supposed to be an exhibition.
Well, it wasn't an exhibition. It
No,
was
I
a
know.
real fight. And so, but they were gambling the night before and drinking at the Seal Rock House. So all of a sudden, Ketchel goes, if I see this motherfucker, I'm going to lay one on him, right?
Yep.
So, but Jack Johnson's moving. He's busting him up, but he's not, he's moving around. And Ketchel's face is all bloody shit. All of a sudden, Ketchel sees the opening.
Bang! Yep, overhand.
Drops.
He leaped up for that right
And
hand.
fucking knocked Johnson on his ass. Shows you how tough he was. And Johnson, that looked like, you motherfucker.
Yep.
He got up, he ran across the ring, hit him, and he knocked his glove.
Yeah, all his teeth were in his glove.
That's right, yeah. He dropped him.
Wow.
But he was a legitimate, really tough guy.
Now you're talking about a middleweight fighting a heavyweight.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
Right.
and Ketchel was the one who came up with the solar plexus punch.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, he was the first guy to hit you in the solar plexus, and that's where he was like, "Oh, you can."
Ketchel was or
No,
Fitzsimmons?
Fitzsimmons.
Oh, Bob Fitzsimmons.
Fitzsimmons
Bob
did that
Fitzsimmons.
against Corbett.
James
Corbett
Sullivan.
was kicking his ass. I got that fight on film. And all Bob says, bang, hit him in the solar plexus. That was it.
Yeah, that hurts, brother. That hurts.
160. Think about how tough these guys are. 165 pounds fighting giant heavyweights like Jeffries. They're 220.
When did the weight? How do you say?
No,
kind
it
of-
was anything. That's
When did that
how
happen?
they fought
When
those
did that
days.
happen though? When did that happen though? What years was that?
Well, right
I mean, it
middleweight
existed.
and heavyweight.
It existed, but there was no like people on their side going, "No, we don't want that fight." It was like
dig it, right.
There was
right.
no
it was
WBA.
There was a bunch of tough guys.
Bunch of tough
We're
guys.
like, all right, I'll fight you, motherfucker.
Right,
and,
right.
and that's the way it went.
Oh,
wow,
And
wow.
Johnson was my favorite fighter of all time.
Johnson was great, but the funny thing is, he got beat by little white guys. Like, what's his name? Jewish guy, Joe Kowinski, knocked him the fuck out.
But that was way later.
No, early. Like 1908.
don't
and
you
then
think
he
it
got
was
beat
still-
by Marvin Hart. He had trouble with these fucking little white guys.
Oh, Jack Johnson?
Yeah. But then when he fought Frank Moran, the Pittsburgh dentist, but he wouldn't fight Sam Langford because they
No.
fought like 18 times, and Jack said, there ain't no money fighting you, brother. Fuck you.
He wouldn't fight Sam Langford. He wouldn't fight Peter Jackson.
No.
He didn't want to fight any black fighters.
You know what?
But he fought them all coming up like 15 times.
The thing about him back in those days,
Yeah, with a white
when
wife.
they were lynching guys.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, I'm not only going to beat all your white fighters, I'm going to fuck all your white women.
Yes.
And that's what he did.
How about all gold teeth?
Back in those days, in the
And
1800s,
you ever-
1900s.
Do you ever see a picture of him racing Barney Oldfield in a car?
No, and he had that. He had
Oh,
some
yeah.
great cars.
Yeah.
Oh no, but you know what the thing is, and I met people that did meet him, like some, Nat Fleischer and all. They said everyone liked Little Arthur. He was very personable. If you go on YouTube and see him talk, he sounds like a doctor.
GQ magazine in the year 2000 rated him the best dressed athlete of the century.
He was very well dressed.
Yeah, he was ranked the best dressed
Oh,
athlete of
always
the
had
century.
matching cane, but everyone liked
And
him.
the top hat.
Frank, what year was that?
1909.
09 or something, right?
Yeah, because he got murdered in 1910.
Now, if you
Ketchel.
look beyond the fighters, everybody's wearing a suit and a hat.
Suit and a hat.
Not a class.
Sitting
There's
every-
no women.
Not a class, bro. Not a class.
Look, everybody had a hat and suits on.
And no women. You noticed that one woman?
Oh, what did you?
Imagine that. Look at that crowd.
Yeah,
That's why I wore a hat today, guys.
There you go.
Oh, I've got films of the battle. Everyone's got a hat.
Yeah.
And you're talking. This is hot weather, man.
Was this a Tex Rickard production?
I don't know.
But that's what, 1909,
Or did
right?
Rickard come
1909.
around? Yeah, Rickard came around right
Emilio,
at
you
the.
see all those
He
people?
was before Rickard did the Battling Nelson Joe Gans fight.
Emilio,
Yes,
you
sir.
see the people in the background?
You know what, bro? I'm telling you, the 30s, 40s was classy as dressers, bro.
Everybody's
Classy
got a
always.
tie, a suit, tie, and a hat on.
Always.
That's the way they were. It's like my grandfather, you know. But man, Ketchel was a tough.
Look at him. He's not even like a kind of guy you look at and go, he's a tough guy. He goes, he's built regular.
He's
But
about
look at how thick his legs are.
Yeah, he's like
That's
he's
like some
about
logs there, bro.
5'8".
Yeah.
See, when the people that in those days weren't big, middleweights were like 5'7", 5'8". So Johnson was 6'1" at that time, was a big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was fast.
I remember I was at a fight, a big fight, and I used to wear like my own Billy Jack style hat.
I remember
take
that.
down
Yeah,
hat
yeah.
with the feather coming out.
Yeah.
And I remember when the fight started, when the bell rang, I took my hat off, and the guy behind me says, "Man, I'm glad you took that hat off. I was afraid to ask you to take it off, man." Because there it is. That's my hat.
Fucking thing. Jesus.
I used to wear that at the fights.
I remember being at a fight with Chuck once, and Chuck had on these leather pants that had flames up the leg.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? And I said, Chuck, what if somebody calls you a liar today?
You guys fought each other?
No. Hell
No, but that was my hat, my own style.
Hey, I'm
Billy
still
Jack
breathing,
hat.
which
I
means I
bet you
didn't
still
fight
have it
Chuck.
too, right?
Yeah.
If I'm alive, I didn't fight Chuck.
Right.
What about you? Your best prized possession? Your most prized
His hat.
My most prized, I have so many of them. But I'll tell you what I like, love yours. One of the best one replicas is your John O'Sullivan
John
belt.
O'Sullivan belt.
Wow.
You got a replica of that? Wasn't that the
Yes.
ring belt?
No, whoa, his weight
No.
is
Oh, yeah, you know
1889.
that. He was the first gloved heavyweight champion.
Yeah, first of all,
He's
he's
got a great-
he is my
that's-
favorite fighter for the reason this.
John L., not Oates,
John
Eddie.
L. he only had 3 bare knuckle fights. He hated bare knuckle. He'd
Yeah.
break your hands, right? And he was a braggart. He was the most famous guy in the world. So guys would walk up to him and go, "Oh my God, shake the hand that shook the hand of John Sullivan himself." Because remember, and the book on him. Now dig this. This is now he was a stone.
One of my
alcoholic.
favorite movies is Gentleman Jim.
Oh yeah. He was an alcoholic.
John, Errol
They all
Flynn,
were
man.
back then, weren't they?
Yeah, man.
He went on the
There's the
vaudeville.
belt. He's got that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow,
It's
bro.
about
Is
this
that what?
big and about this wide. Had like 390 diamonds in it, rubies, and shows how bad of a lush he became. He took all the stones out and then hocked it, and it hung in a bar for years. And they said, fuck it," and they melted it. Ugh.
Oh, it was real gold?
Yeah, solid gold. So dig this. So you got to read this book called John L. Sullivan Ringside. Now these are real reports by reporters. They said he was so fast, light, and forget the picture you see him with. He's older. He was so fast, and there was no sound then.
That's the belt, right?
He
That's
fought
it.
Johnson, didn't he?
No,
He's got the replica.
I thought he
Emilio.
fought Johnson like
No, he never fought Johnson.
Johnson fought somebody who he didn't want to fight. Oh no. It was a former champ after he'd won the title. Who was it?
Johnson?
He lost to Jess Willard, but he fought
That's when he was shadowing the
was it Corbett he fought maybe?
the son.
No, he didn't fight Corbett. He fought Frank Moran. He
Oh, it was
fought,
Jim Jeffries then maybe.
Yeah, Jim Jeffries.
Jeffries had come out of
But he
retirement
came out of
to fight
retirement.
him.
He weighed 320 pounds.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But
Hey,
they-
you met Jack Dempsey.
Yes, I did.
did.
How was he?
Great.
I met him a lot
You
of
met him
times.
really?
Oh, yeah,
lot
he
of
was
time,
always
huh?
sitting at
I
the
was-
front window at the restaurant.
At the restaurant. Jack
Front
Dempsey's
window.
on Broadway.
Yeah.
Oh, I go
He
there all
was
the time.
always there.
He was there right in
You
the
go
front
there. It's
window.
not there no more.
No, there's a spot right on.
Oh, yeah. But that's when he had the restaurant.
Yeah. But he'd sit in the window.
Yes,
right by the
yes.
pool. Yeah.
And I went in there a few times and met him and everything.
go, "How you doing,
and,
kid?"
And he had him and Firpo when he knocked him out of the ring.
That big giant.
Luis Firpo.
Yeah.
Luis Angel Firpo.
He was tough too. And
That's
he,
a great picture, man.
you know, it's funny. I met Jess Willard's grandson out here, and he's got the gloves from that fight.
No kidding.
Yeah, but he's I feel bad. He's old and he's kind of destitute. Now, Jess Willard, you gotta understand, was 6'6", 260, and solid farm boy, country strong.
Oh yeah.
And he was
There it is. The
remember-
famous. That was,
No, that's the Furpo
Firpo knocking Dempsey out.
out of the ring.
Oh,
and
wow.
that was in the whole back wall of Jack
That's
Dempsey's
right.
restaurant.
That's right.
He
The
put
whole
it- he
wall.
put it
the
up,
size
huh?
of this,
Yeah.
this window here.
Yeah. And the thing was, when Jack fell out of the ring, he landed on a typewriter. He hurt his back for the rest
Yeah.
of his life. And he came back and knocked Furpo. Jack Dempsey had the most exciting fights of anybody.
Remember he used to brine his hands?
Yeah, he was tough.
He used,
used to do what?
he used to keep his hands in brine that
Yeah,
you would
pickled.
put. When you'd put
vinegar
meat
in
in
it?
How big his
to
hands
cure
were?
meat, he would soak his hands in it. It was like a salty water,
Here's a great
and
story.
it would just toughen up your hands.
He's
that
coming
right?
out of
Wouldn't
his
feel anything.
restaurant.
Dry it
He's-
up, probably.
You remember, he lived in New York. He was coming out of his restaurant. He was in his 70s, middle 70s, and it was winter, and he had a hat on, and his glasses, favorite coat, and he was leaving the restaurant late at night, and two guys tried to like mug him.
Oh, that was a
He
mistake.
fucking knocked. They found them both in the gutter, and the guy he tried to mug Jack Dempsey. He just went boom, boom, out.
Yep.
All those guys, man, those guys were animals, man. Louis Firpo was big.
I remember though meeting him a few times, man.
Oh, Jack was
Dempsey.
the best.
Did you ever meet
man.
Carnera?
No, he was dead by the time.
Oh, the mob
He
killed
was
him. didn't
very. He was supposed to be very kind, but he ended up being wealthy, became a wrestler.
He was huge.
He was huge. He was strong too, man.
One of the
Mighty
best.
Joe Young.
One of the best, yeah, right. One of the best fights was when
a big
Joe
dude right
Frazier
there.
fought Quarry
One of the best
in
fights.
Madison Square Garden.
Unbelievable. And Quarry
and
was
Joe
giving it to him.
Lewis was the referee.
How about that?
Joe Lewis was referee.
Yes.
Is that right?
And I remember sitting at the nosebleed section with my wife. We were kids. We were 19 years old. And I gave the guy $50, the usher. He brought me down to the second row. To the right of me was Evil Knievel. And to the left of me was Muhammad Ali.
Oh, wow.
But $50 a lot of money back then.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But tell me, well, Quarry was in that fight. He was banging Joe around,
Yeah.
but Jerry Quarry was the most underrated.
Yes.
Tough.
Today, he definitely beat a champ, but he fought
He's small. Yeah.
at a bad time when Joe Frazier and Oscar Bonavino
And guys were getting big.
And you know, Muhammad Ali. I
yeah.
mean,
But he beat great fight. He beat Mac Foster. He knocked Shavers out.
he knocked Shavers out in one round. I was
Yeah.
at that
It
fight.
was
That
in
was
one
in
round. Yeah, how
that
about
was in
that?
Nassau Coliseum.
How about
I
that?
actually
round.
like Shavers, Bernie Shavers. He was a badass. Bro.
Yeah,
He knocked him out.
knocked him out.
Jerry was double tough.
He was tough. He was
Mac
tough.
Foster.
Yeah.
He beat Foyt Patterson. He was tough, man. But he wasn't big. He was maybe 5'11", maybe
Yeah.
5'10 and a half. It's like Marciano.
But he was never 200 pounds. He was under 200 pounds.
I love Marciano. We always get in beefs with the old Italians. Hey, Rocky, forget about it. I said, wait. I love Rocky Marciano. He's only undefeated. He's 5 foot, maybe 9.
Yeah.
With a a flyweight has longer arms, 67-inch reach. These guys now are like 6'8", or even Joe. Look, he had trouble with
Joe Louis
Billy,
was 6 feet on the nose, right?
maybe a little bigger. I was at a function with Joe Louis, but big head, big hands. I'm like almost 6 feet. He's about 6'1.5", but thick.
Yeah.
And I just don't know. And Rocky even said, man, I couldn't have beat him in his prime.
No.
Absolutely.
He didn't want to fight him.
That's why a lot of people hate me, especially Italians. And it's not Rocky's fault. Rocky was always in shape, great, everybody.
Yeah.
But he fought all old men.
But you know what?
But that's just he just had nobody in his
Ali
generation.
did too.
Well, I'm
Fought-
saying, you know what?
So did Ali.
When he fought
Archie Moore,
when he
Billy Machin.
fought,
But those were all in the
Jersey
60s
Joe
he fought
Walcott.
them.
Jersey Joe Walcott was 38 years old.
But he could
Jersey
fight.
Joe Walcott beat him
It was
for
great.
13 rounds
Yeah.
until he got nailed with that one right hand.
Mary,
But if
That's
he don't hit him with
that's
that
the
right
picture.
hand, he loses you not.
How about the one with Ezra Charles when his nose is
Yeah,
split?
with
in
a
half?
split.
One thing Rocky did have was big balls, and he could
Oh,
hit.
absolutely. And
I
he could
asked
hit.
Walcott because when I was
And he could
boxing,
hit. Look at him there.
when I was boxing, I asked Walcott because he was the boxing commissioner. I said, "How hard did Rocky hit?" He goes, "You saw the film, didn't you?" I go, "Yeah, I did." He goes, "Like a bullet." He was amazingly strong, and
Yeah,
he was
but-
endurable.
I believe at 26-year-old Lewis and a 26-year-old Marciano,
no,
Lewis
Lewis.
knocks him out.
Yeah, when they
A
go
lot
like,
of those guys, prime for prime, would have knocked out Marciano.
Yeah.
Ezard would have knocked him out. Walcott would have beat him.
I'm just saying, all those guys
Yeah.
were
but he
38,
wasn't.
40.
If he was a light heavyweight, no one beat him.
Yeah.
Light
I think
heavyweight
even
kill you.
I mean even what's his name from the light heavyweight? Bob Foster could have beaten him.
I don't know about that.
I
He
even
might
have a
break-
signed picture with him, and he never signed a lot of things.
No, he might have broken Bob Foster's ribs. He was very tough, though. Remember,
Because Foster was nice and tall.
He was always in shape.
Always
and
in
could
shape.
punch.
Bob Foster, the boy, when he hit Mike Corey. Ooh.
I didn't know he was
Were
that
you there?
that small, bro.
Who? He wasn't
Marciano,
big, but he
yeah.
was. You know, I went to Boston. We were doing the Contender, and I was
Yes.
in Bracton, so I met the Marcianos came out.
Hilarious.
His nephews, and they're all like fucking thick. They're like him. They
Yeah.
look like, hey, Frank, good day in Bracton there. But fucking meat hook hands, like
Oh, yeah.
forearms. And you can see where the strength is. Like it's peasant strength, big legs. But but he had determination. He was really tough.
He had heart.
And he's still, listen, man, undefeated. And Ezra Charles, to me, was a great fighter.
Oh, absolutely.
183 pounds. I would love seen Ezra Charles Floyd Patterson fight. That's a great fight.
Yeah.
Floyd Patterson might have beaten Marciano's speed. Could have.
Who won versus Patterson versus Archie Moore? They fought, right?
Or he knocked Archie out.
Yeah, but Archie was like 110 years old,
And
right?
how about this?
No, he was
And
only
guess-
108.
And guess who fought him after that? Talk about old. Ali.
Yeah, he fought Patterson or Moore.
No, he fought Patterson and Archie Moore.
Yeah, he did.
And he fought old guys too. Eddie Machin.
Oh, yeah.
But that's boxing, though. That's
that's
the way it
also the-
goes.
yeah.
Absolutely. But
You always got to fight the old guys.
Yeah, you got to. It's passing of the torch.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care what anybody says. To me, Muhammad Ali was the greatest,
greatest
heavyweight
ever. Yeah.
Ever.
I don't care. Look, Mike
And I
Tyson.
say Joe Louis was number 2.
And they say
See,
Mike-
Johnson's my guy.
Yeah, but he would chop those guys up too fast. Because when he moved, you see those old things, you go, and I'm moving. When he's wearing street clothes, you go like, ah. When Sly was for the Academy Awards, when Ali
I
walked
remember that
down
in
the stage,
76.
Yes.
he says, looking like a propeller. It's like, he's so fast. Remember, he quick.
I remember that. He's on stage and he laughed and he goes, what? He does something, the way he's dressed.
Yeah.
It's like, what? And he looks at him.
He was quick.
Joe
brother.
Frazier. Ali, first of all, had a great chin.
I think his great chin is what caused his damage.
Yes. He's staying
Yeah,
around.
yeah,
But
good
you know,
point.
he had
Yeah,
a
good
pretty
point.
good right
Good
hand.
point.
He was knocking guys out early.
Mm-hmm.
Bonavina,
That's
Brian
yeah.
London.
Bonavina pissed him off. That's why.
Well, he was like, yeah.
Remember, Bonavina kept calling him Clay.
No one ever knocked out George Chuvalo.
No,
Never
I-
knocked
nobody.
him off his
I'm
feet.
friends
Not
with
even
George.
knocked down.
How about this? Now, you think he'd be like punchy, clear as a bow.
Yes.
George is a great guy.
And he's had a worse life.
The
all
worst
his
fucking
kids.
life.
Everybody
Suicide,
died.
drug
Died.
addiction, overdose,
Yeah.
drunk drivers, fucking you name it. It's been done to him.
But when you look at
And
him,
like you said, He speaks well.
Speaks well.
He's got his clear
He
mind,
speaks-
everything. And all the fights. And the guys that he fought.
Tough. Foreman. But you know what's funny? You look at him like big
Oh,
head.
George
But
is
I'll
a
tell
big
you right
dude.
now. Right now, he kicked the shit out of everyone.
I agree.
Oh, he's not out of shape.
No, George,
just
and he's
now?
80 years old now.
And you
80,
know what?
81.
And again, when he
Chevalier.
fought Ali, look at that. When he
Look at
fought
that.
Ali, though, he started
Longer
fighting in 1956. So he wasn't a kid when he fought Ali, but
No.
he was a really good fighter.
Cheval's a great. I got a
he's
funny
tough.
story. My dad.
Toughest guy ever.
I took my dad to these fights in Toronto, somewhere in the 90s, mid 90s, and my dad boxed in India. It was
Yeah.
compulsory at that time.
Yeah.
In the 20s and 30s.
Yeah, like the British and all.
Yeah, because of the British. Yeah, you had to fight in boarding school. My dad was. Don't laugh at this title. He was the paperweight champ of the college, right? Of the boarding school.
Yeah.
But he was slick. Like I started boxing at 15, and I didn't realize how good my dad was because when I was 15, my dad was 60. So I remember just messing around with him. And he would smack. He would dip and slip, and I was like, "What the fuck? How did my dad get so good?"
Yeah.
And so I took my dad to these fights in the mid 90s.
He loved them, right?
And my dad got drunk because it was an open bar. My dad got boozed up, and Chevalo's there. My dad goes, "Let me shake the big man's hand," and Chevalo's back was facing him. And I'm like, "Dad, don't bother him," because I didn't know George that well at the
Yeah.
time. My dad taps him on the back. "Let me shake the big man's hand. I was the paperweight champion of India."
That's
And
great. That's
Chevalo's
great.
looking at him, holding my dad's hand and looking at him like, "Are you fucking kidding me? I'm going to kill you." And I'm like, "Dad, let's go, Dad. You're going to get us all killed in here. Let's go."
And George was tough looking. He was tough
Oh yeah,
looking.
he had those eyes.
Oh yeah, well no, but he was. George Foreman pounded on him, never knocked him off his feet, and he was old. Talk about old. I mean, by the time Foreman fought him, he
Your family, yeah. Your mom and dad.
Yeah, it's my dad right there.
Yeah.
Is your dad a
And
big?
my dad was 5'4" at his tallest.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
so he was like 90 pounds.
And my father was
Oh, yeah.
5'6".
yeah, little
5'6".
guys, tough
People weren't
guys. Though.
that big then. People
No, they
like
were
Mickey
tough
Walker
guys,
was
though.
5'6.5", fought heavyweights. They were tough. Now there's a Mexican fighter no one knows, and I think I have the only poster of him in existence. And he started in 1895 to about 19. His name was Aurelio Herrera from Bakersfield.
Is that right?
They said he was the hardest puncher in the world anyone ever seen. They said he was good looking, handsome, but always smoked cigars, always had chicks, drinking all day. He didn't drink. But they said he would hit guys and you think he killed them. One of those freaky, but like good body. And this picture's like 1908. And man, they said he struck fear. Even if he was drunk,
Look at his thighs.
kill you.
Go back. Look at the
That's
size of his
Aurelio
fucking
Herrera.
thighs.
That's him?
Yes.
Yeah, bro.
And
weight
man,
was he?
year was
What
that?
was his weight class?
1901.
1901.
Well, he started in 1890. He was a featherweight, but he would knock.
He died at 50.
50, yeah, young
Yeah,
cat.
but he
young.
was. There's a story like he comes into he got locked up for vagrancy or something, and the story goes he's there. This guy's old, shriveled, dilapidated guy, and then the guy goes, "All right, this is Mr. Aurelio Herrera," and all of a sudden the judge goes, "Wait, were you a fighter?" He goes, "Yes," and he was beat. He goes, "Wow." He goes, I can't lock this guy up. Like he was a superstar for his time because he was
Right
the
on.
first.
That's cool, man.
Really, first Mexican American that was like I mean he
San
was
Jose, yeah, born in San Jose.
yeah.
Raised in Bakersfield.
Him and the other one, my other friend, was what was the greatest one? Oh, Manuel Ortiz, one of the greatest featherweight bantamweights ever. Handsome, but they're all fucking drunks. I don't know what happens to these guys. They got too much cerveza.
Oh,
But the thing is,
The Mexicans do like to drink.
but Manuel Ortiz,
I used to like to drink. But
Oh yeah, I guess you would.
believe me.
Manuel Ortiz held the title for like fucking 8 years. He went from bantamweight to featherweight, and he could punch, but handsome, good looking, always like like thick wavy hair, like that kind of 1940s type look.
Right.
But he was a superstar. He would kick the shit out of some of these guys today. These guys had 160 pro fights.
Right.
Like I mean, but that's that.
What was his weight class, though, bro? What was
125
his 120?
pounds.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
But see, they
Like
wore
Carbajal.
those.
All in legs, bro, right there.
Yeah, but see, they look like leotards. That's him. That's battling Nelson and him. And they went 20 rounds. So how tough was battling Nelson to get banged around by this guy? And Nelson won.
And again,
I
look
read-
everybody in suits and hats.
Yeah.
But then again, I heard that when they would fall down, that would be considered a round.
No, that's London Prize World.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay.
Yeah, that's a really solid, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's got a thick bottom half.
yeah.
Like Pacquiao. Pacquiao's built like that.
Yeah.
They're all bottom heavy, and that's
No,
where your
London
power's
prize
coming
rules
from.
where you hit somebody goes down.
That's
so the
around,
fight
yeah.
could be 7 hours.
Exactly. Yeah.
Marquis of Queensberry. So these were Marquis of Queensberry. So these were 3-minute rounds.
Damn.
And these guys are tough. Well, look, I mean, you think guys are fit? They're really fit.
Yeah, man.
Well, they had nothing, all natural food.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
They
right.
hiked.
Yeah.
One of the things they did, though, when you read, I used to have all their training books, read. What they did was big for them. They hiked. They'd hike like 10, 12 miles a day. And that's why you always see the pit bulls, because the dogs would follow them around. And they would sit there like a hat, like sweater, and they would hike in the mountains. That's not easy.
And they didn't have like sneakers or hiking
And
boots.
it's also good for your footing too, bro. You got yeah.
Don't you ever see pictures of those guys doing road work? Your father, they wore sneakers, probably like work boots.
Oh, they probably
yeah.
had shin splints for
What-
days, you know.
Yeah.
Combat boots.
Combat boots.
Combat
Yeah.
With
boots.
a leather coat, like
Yeah.
a wool hat. Yeah, these
Actually,
guys
Ali used to
wear
combat
army
boots.
boots. Yes, he did. And
combat
a gray
boots, army
sweatsuit.
boots, yeah.
Yeah.
And this gray sweatsuit and run 10, 15 miles.
He was never fancy, ever. Do you think about how he dressed? He always wore a white terry cloth robe, except for the one robe Elvis gave him.
Yes.
No, the black silk one.
And he always wore black
The
and
white
white.
one. The white one that was
White
looked
one.
like his jumpsuit.
Oh, right. Yeah,
We
yeah.
have
There's
a
that
picture of
picture.
it.
There's that
And the
picture.
picture,
Yeah.
yeah.
But same with Tyson, bro. Tyson was never flashy.
Well, you know who
knock your
Tyson
ass out.
fancied himself after?
Jack Dempsey.
Jack Dempsey.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Right,
Yep.
right on.
The
right on.
haircut, low socks.
yeah.
Yeah, black
Black.
boots,
Yep.
black trunks, black
Yep.
boots, and a towel with the hole cut in it. So you
He
just put it
loved
over.
Jack
Yeah.
Dempsey. Let me tell you something. Jack Dempsey was the first guy. See, Jack was real humble. He goes, "Oh, I wouldn't fight Sam Lang." He would knock Sam Langford out. First of all, Jack was the first guy that was like bobbing,
Yeah.
and he was very fast, and he was tough. Remember, he was a strip miner, he was strong.
Oh yeah.
So he might have given Jack Johnson a lot of trouble because he was fast and he hit. Well, you saw how hard
It was
he
the
hit.
Manassa Mauler, right?
Vanessa Muller. And
mean-
but he, to me, was great looking. He had that look.
Yeah.
See, I liked him better before he had his nose fixed. That's when he had kind of his nose fixed.
Yeah, he looked like a bruiser.
That's his nose fixed.
Yeah, no, no, but you see, no. If you see the older pictures,
Emilio, that's his nose fixed.
no, that might be a little bit. But before his nose was kind of like flat, and he married a movie star. That's his original nose. Like
You know, he looks like though. He looks like Max Schmeling a little bit.
Exactly. Well, they always said that.
Yeah.
That he and Matt. But the thing was, he married Estelle Taylor, and she goes, "Well, Jack, why don't you get your nose fixed?" I thought it looked great. He had that fighter's nose.
Yeah.
It's called.
Pug. Looked like
Yeah.
a pug.
But he was.
Yeah, he was tough.
Fuck yeah, he was
Jack,
tough.
Jack
But he
Dempsey.
had a great body. I mean, really, big wrist. But he's like one of my favorites. But you know, he was
Max
nice,
Baer had a great body.
unbelievable body.
Who?
Max Baer.
Oh yeah, Max and
6'3",
Buddy. Both of them.
Max Buddy.
He's that
well.
tall, huh?
You saw what Joe did to Buddy and Max. Joe could punch. Joe had didn't
Joe
have
who?
fast feet, Lewis.
Oh, yeah,
but
well,
fast
remember-
hands.
Who was it? What, did they both fight him?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the one of them
both
was
got
beating
knocked
him, and then he goes, "I'm
Well,
gonna take
Buddy,
a chance."
Buddy knocked him out. I mean, he
Joe
knocked
knocked
Buddy
Buddy,
out in
yeah.
like one round. But
Buddy
they-
was big. Buddy had over 100
Yeah.
pro fights.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Max. Remember, Max was winning the fight against Lewis, and then he thought he'd get a little cocky, and Lewis knocked him out.
Oh yeah, Max could punch, but he was sloppy.
Yeah.
Joe was pretty textbook, man.
How about Joe and Billy Conn?
Well, see,
Billy
that's
Conn was running around. That's what he said. You can run, but you can't hide.
But he was boxing Billy.
Yeah.
And Billy only weighed really 166 pounds.
Yeah, they weren't big guys. Joe
Anything
only weighed
over 160 was light heavyweight.
Didn't Joe weigh like 180 something?
No, he was about 194.
190. But he was like basically
But
a
Billy was
cruiserweight.
giving him a paste, and then
Yeah.
he goes, "Why didn't you let me win the title?" He goes, "Man, you can hold on for 13 rounds." Joe was great. You got to watch This Is Your Life, Joe Lewis. There was a famous show out here with Ralph Evers called This Is
I
Your Life.
remember that show.
And,
Yeah,
there's,
yeah.
and if you can see it on YouTube with Joe Lewis, it's almost you get tears in your eye. It's kind of heartwarming because
Where they bring back like your high school
brings
teacher.
back
That's a
all his
great show,
family,
bro.
and
Yeah,
Joe's like real shy. His eyes when they compliment him, he's like, and his sister comes out. He goes, "Joe sent all of us to college, and some of them were doctors. He took care of Mama, took care of everybody." And you know, Joe was a little busted out. And Ezra Charles comes out, and poor guy's so punchy. He died of lateral sclerosis he's I love Joe, and you can see Joe's like kind of emotional. And then who flies in from Germany in 1955?
Schmeling.
And guess who paid for his funeral? Schmeling and
That's
Frank
beautiful,
Sinatra.
brother. That's beautiful,
wow.
man.
And guess who hired him at Caesar's Palace when he's broke?
As a greeter,
Frank.
right? Yeah.
Frank.
Is that right?
I saw him there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And the statue they put up.
Yeah, the statue. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Taking
Because
pictures
the
there.
government really fucked Joe.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Oh God.
They did. He did all
And
those
meanwhile-
fucking free fights
yes,
during the
I was
war.
going to say that. Give the money.
All the
Hundreds of
free
millions of
fights.
dollars.
Yep.
And they would, but everyone
Millions.
ripped him off. And you can see in the thing and talking about Joe that he was very shy and humble until he was fucking Sonia Haney, but that was another thing.
That's a different
He
thing.
had a lot of women like Joe.
It was
It
very
said-
virile.
Yeah, it said Joe had like a zip code on his unit.
But
Well,
he used
you
to
know.
donate all his purses
To the military.
to the military and everything, and they screwed him.
Remember, Schmeling said even when he was in his 80s, Schmeling said, I still got a pain in my liver from that punch he gave me.
He lived to 100 years old.
Yeah. He was like, I on a chilly day, I get a pain
Max
right in that
is
liver.
Max.
200.
Yeah, Max, yeah.
What a fucking beating Joe gave him that second fight.
Oh.
But the first fight, they go, so Max, what do you think about Joe Louis? Well, I see something. What do you? I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah.
What he knew was when Joe jabbed, he would bring it back. And Max was a great right hand puncher. So, instead of, he would always bring it back low and he timed it. And boom.
Yeah.
And he stopped Joe.
Yeah, that was that's why the rematch, and that was also at the time when Hitler was like,
Yes.
look, we are superior than you
Yeah.
guys."
But Hitler did not like Max Schmeling, and because
well, not after.
Well, no, because Max didn't really like that. So what he did, he put him in the army where he would have gotten killed. He made him like a paratrooper where he would, and he was older, to lose his life. And he lost everything he owned. He lived like a bum. And then finally, he ended up running and owning all the Coca-Cola
Yes.
in Germany.
Oh wow!
This is a great conversation, bro.
Died a
I love this.
multi-millionaire.
Look at that, huh?
Yeah. But he had a great boxer's body. See? It's like Ken Norton had a great boxer.
Yeah.
He did like a welterweight, brother.
Ken Norton had that great body.
Yeah.
Who? Then we had Mike Weaver had a great
Yeah.
body.
But Joe had a really
Michael
good
Dokes had a good body too.
But
Mike Dokes.
Joe had a really good boxer's body. He wasn't that wide. You notice?
That's all. It's built like Ali. They're very similar build.
Ali had a perfect. Wally was, he was great looking. They said, man, where'd you get those legs for a brother? He goes, well, we got a little Irish blood in there. Because Joe remember, Ali had big calves.
Yeah.
He was built, because when he went to Africa, he's very light. Ali's mother's as light as you. Remember those pictures? His mother was really light.
Yes.
And so he goes to Africa. He goes, man, I love the Africans. We need a little Irish blood in you over here. Because he's like,
You ever get to hang out with Ali?
yeah, with brother, when we did Rocky III, we shot in his house in Hancock Park.
Yeah.
And he was just, he was starting to get a little, always doing dumb magic tricks.
Really?
Sylvester, look.
That's
look at
cool,
But they
man.
were so bad you could see the trick. It's like, it's like the
a great
stupid
story,
thing
bro.
like,
That's a great story.
what is this? It's like, fuck, there's no trick. I could see you doing what you're doing. Well, I will see what you He was great, man.
That's badass, bro.
He was,
That's
you
badass.
know what the thing is? He didn't keep
Love
any
that.
memorabilia. Nothing. But you can see his hands were so fast. Ali.
Yeah. Man.
I like Mike Tyson. He cuts Mike to pieces. Too fast. And he hit hard enough to cut you up. You know what I mean?
Oh, he would beat. He
He would
would
beat
off
Mike.
with the jab.
And Mike would be the first one to tell you.
And Mike's not the first guy that he fought with the bob and weave style because he fought Patterson, who did the.
Well, how about Joe
exact same-
Frazier?
Well, same. Frazier,
Smoking Joe, bro.
Patterson. He fought that style
Oh,
already.
sure he did.
So it wasn't new to him.
No, and the thing is, Joe Frazier was harder to fight than Mike because you couldn't time Joe because he wasn't
all over the
You know what I
place.
mean? He was.
I always say a great match would have been Joe Frazier, Mike.
That'd have been
Mike.
a great fight.
Oh, my
That'd have been a
God.
scrap.
I think if it comes to grit, I think maybe Joe might have edged him out in the thing because Joe wasn't afraid of anybody.
No,
Yeah,
but
he didn't
Tyson's
care about
power, though,
nobody.
bro.
But
was
Joe
something
had
else,
power. Joe had big power. How about when he goes like this? Remember when Ali was teasing him? Yeah, you can say all that, but you're talking to Joe Frazier because he goes, all the other guys take that jab. I'm Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier wasn't afraid of anybody,
no.
but he had a lot, and he was a nice guy, and he had a lot of
Frazier
heart.
was a Philly guy, right?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
But he was from South Carolina originally, but he's a farm guy, country strong.
Buford.
We
Buford,
were
South
we were in a
Carolina.
concert.
South
Those
Carolina.
from there too?
And-
Larry Holmes.
and he was
Really?
he
Yeah.
worked in the
Chicken.
slaughterhouse.
in South
My
Philly.
dad worked in a slaughterhouse.
Yeah. Well,
He-
Joe did too.
Yeah, in South Philly when he came to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But, and so Larry Holmes is from Beaufort, too.
Wow.
And Joe Louis is really from Alabama. But
They just all claim these bigger
the
cities?
blacks-
Remember this one?
Well, the blacks.
15th round.
Oh,
The
yeah.
left hook.
How about that? So, and you're talking about a guy who's one of the best chins.
And that was a leaping left hook.
He was
yeah,
off his
yep.
feet.
Yeah, he had
They
to
show it. Both
jump
feet were
up
off
to
the
get there.
ground.
Yep.
I think Joe in that thing is about 203, maybe.
And Arthur
And
McCarthy.
Ollie's not that big. Ollie's probably about 212.
I remember we were at the Greek Theater, bro. I was watching. I was going to go see Little Richard and Chuck Berry at the Greek, and Joe Frazier was with his son Marvis.
Yeah.
Marvis,
And
yeah.
it was a great concert, bro. But like midway through, two people were rushing them, so they had to leave, bro, because they couldn't stop asking for autographs, bro. It was
Joe
Joe
was
was a great guy.
Yeah.
And I had the honor and pleasure of bodyguarding both those guys right there.
Did
Joe
you really?
Frazier and Muhammad Ali.
Is that right?
How was
Yeah.
Joe with you?
Joe was awesome. Joe actually drove from Philly all the way to Philly when I opened my dojo in Westchester and in Pelham. He came to my opening.
Did you really?
Yes.
Did he have
year was that?
Cadillac? Of course.
he
He
was
had that
great.
Cadillac
What year
with
was
the
that?
vinyl.
210.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if he has Cadillac by then. That
210.
poor guy, wasn't he living over top of his gym at
Yeah.
that point?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? You know what that gym is now? It's a fucking furniture store. There's me and Joe right there.
Oh, wow.
And where my
Now it
dad,
shows
where
you
my
how
dad's
tall he
shirt.
is. He's not
Al
that tall.
No, he
LaBarba.
wasn't.
My dad's shirt.
Right, Joe? He's not that tall.
No.
He probably
Hey,
shrunk by then, too.
But it's
though.
me, him, and Mike. Look how fat Mike is there.
Oh, yeah.
Joe was...
And you know who stood standing to the left of us there?
Oh.
Was Christopher Walken. They don't show him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You work with him, bro, Christopher? That's one of my guys.
Oh,
I
that's
work
my
with, bro.
dojo right
That's
there
one.
when he came that
Oh, my
night.
God.
Joe Jett and Joe Frazier.
Oh, right on,
But
bro.
I'll say
Great
one
picture.
thing about Tyson. He's very respectful of those guys. He doesn't...
Oh,
Mike's,
absolutely.
Mike's a
absolutely.
historian, too.
No, he is. He came up to me. He goes, "Now, who killed Jack Bowen?" And I said, "No, Andy Bowen." I said, "Def Jack Burke." He goes, "You motherfucker!" This is like 1880
Yeah.
fight because he is a historian.
Yeah, because Bill Caton and
all
Jimmy
the
Jacobs
films.
had all the films.
He knows the stuff. Yes, he does. That's why.
Yeah, that's my dojo right there.
There's some cool pictures, bro.
That's my gi. That's a replica of Elvis's gi.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
How long
with
your
the
belt
thing-
is.
What was that patch he always had? Was that TCP?
TCB. Yeah.
Is that the thing? What
Take
was
care,
the sticker on this guitar? Was that same patch? Wasn't it?
No, the sticker on his guitar was
karate thing.
Kempo.
Kempo. Right. Okay. Right.
Kempo karate.
Now did you ever train with Ed Parker?
No, but I went to a lot of his
was great.
events that
If
he
you
put
saw
on.
Ed Parker on the street, say, "Who's the short fat guy?" As he threw you through the fucking wall.
Yeah.
He was bad. But you know what? Ali was it's very sad. See, he was a superstar. Superstar. He was
And
funny.
and a robe that Elvis Presley gave Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
It was one of his replicas of his jumpsuit, and he made it. With all the rhinestones and that's the night he wore it when he lost to Ken Norton,
Oh, it was?
and he never wore the robe
No.
again.
Wow.
He always wore like a terry cloth robe.
Yeah, terry cloth robe.
black and
And
white
it said
silver.
Muhammad
Black
Ali
and
on
white.
the back.
That's it.
Yeah.
Only time he wore red trunk when he fought Frazier. Remember? But normally he wore black and white and black.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like
He was the greatest, man.
I will
He was the
say
greatest,
this,
and he was just a
the
sweetheart.
greatest heavyweight ever. I don't know. The only one that could have given him a trial run would have been Larry in his prime. Larry
Holmes
Holmes.
was badass. Yeah, he was a badass.
Well, they
Well,
were
not
sparring.
really, because
sparring.
Larry was his sparring partner.
No, but I'm saying,
When
but
he first
Larry
coming up.
knew every trick
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah.
And Larry
there's
was
a
a
robe
he
right
had
there.
quick hands,
Elvis
though, bro.
gave.
Larry had quick hands.
Do you know
bro.
I have that robe?
That actual
No.
robe?
Yes, I do.
No,
Yes, I do.
How'd you get that?
Okay, well,
that's in.
no, I'll tell you what I have.
That's in. What do you call it?
My friend.
Smithsonian?
No, I
No,
know.
it's in Muhammad Ali's
Thing.
Boxing Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
No, my
Canastota?
friend is the greatest. He does the greatest historical Elvis reproductions of anybody in the world. I mean, perfect. He's a good friend of mine. He's in Kentucky. And he sent me that robe. It's heavy.
Really?
Shit. Yes.
Because the original was
It's
hanging.
really heavy.
Let me tell you something. A few times I was trying to steal that robe.
Yeah.
That was hanging at the Hard Rock Cafe in New York City
Yeah. And it's
for
heavy.
years.
Really?
Yeah. And when they were closing, I was going to go and take that robe.
Yeah.
You know,
Good
but
job.
then they took it when they opened up in Kentucky. That's at Ali's Museum.
Yeah. So this thing was.
So you have the replica of that one?
Yeah, and
that's
I'm telling you,
badass.
it weighs like 20 pounds. It's heavy, and probably and this guy does the best. Like I bought. He gave me like 10.
Where's your ring?
Do you have it? Do you have it? It's upstairs.
He gave me 10 Elvis shirts because all those paisley shit, it's perfect. But his collars, they were so fucking high. I couldn't.
Yeah, big
like,
lapel
I
and
couldn't
the-
see like this. So I had him lower the collar. So it's like you couldn't see my fucking head. Like, here, thank you very much. So I had him lower.
Look at Elvis
Yeah.
tying it on him, man. That's a badass robe,
Yeah,
man.
bro.
But that used to hang. That was in a.
Is
a
that
hot-
Elvis?
Elvis, yeah.
Yeah.
How about the two most famous, coolest guys?
You need the mic for this.
Oh, how about the two coolest guys ever? I mean, come on.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a
King
great
of rock and
picture right
roll,
there,
king
bro.
of boxing.
Yes.
Yep.
But
Man, we grew up
and
in a
People's
that's a
Choice. That's what it was
beautiful-
on the back.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man.
And that used to sit in a glass case
Did it really?
in a Hard Rock Cafe in New York City.
The
on
real one.
57th Street. The real one. That
Oh, I
one.
remember that.
Where did
That
he
was
fight
one.
when he wore that?
Huh? He fought Ken Norton.
Oh, that's the one
And
he
when
lost
he
in.
broke
Was that
his
the first,
jaw and he
first
lost.
fight, right?
The first fight. And he never wore the robe again.
Yeah, it's like, Elvis, you give me some bad luck.
But is that history right there or what?
Yeah, that's a beautiful.
You know, the thing is really heavy.
Oh,
It's cool looking.
you have it on a mannequin or?
No, I should put it on a mannequin.
Yeah, you
should.
should, brother. Yeah.
What's
Oh,
it
of
doing?
course
Just hanging
you
up in the
should.
closet?
You know what? I'll put it on my brother's mannequin. I have one of Rocky. I'll have him put the robe
Oh,
on
absolutely.
Yeah, that's
with the
perfect,
stupid
man.
hat.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I want a picture of that, man. Get a picture of that.
Yeah.
You know?
Rocky with that robe with the black hat and the black gloves.
Oh, yeah.
Cut off gloves. I got a wax figure of my brother. Man.
Say that's like his jumpsuits. He took it off his jumpsuits.
He did. He wasn't into memorabilia, man. He gave my brother his. I said, "Sly, why did you sell that at auction?" He gave him his Reyes headgear that had Ali and leather stitched on it, white, and
Oh, really?
a pair of gloves that said "Made for Ali," and a Ali's terry cloth robe. And I was there.
Your brother got rid of it?
I said, "What the fuck's wrong with you, man?"
He gave him a terry cloth robe.
Yes,
And what did he do with it?
I think he sold it or got. Remember that auction he had?
Was he short on cash? You guys rich
No,
as hell?
I don't understand it. I say, what the fuck is wrong with you? He was
Holy
going to put his
shit.
boxing gloves from Rocky at the auction. I go, you don't need the money.
Oh,
Those gloves
those
bought
are
this
cute.
house, man.
Yeah.
There was only one pair.
Yeah.
Because it was a cheap movie. No, they didn't have doubles.
Right, right.
Man, if I knew that,
What a trip.
I would ask him. I would ask him for
Isn't
yo, Sly.
Isn't Nikki C selling stuff for Sly?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He saw that
Does
stuff.
good.
Yeah.
You know what? I got one of the hats.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It looks perfect. I put it on, but I can't wear it. It'd be like retarded.
What hat is it?
if I
The,
wore
And the
Yeah.
crazy thing
The,
about it, I introduced Nicky C to Sly.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
The old Rocky
Absolutely.
hat.
Yeah, but if I
Yeah,
wear
fedora.
it, I'm
Yeah,
his
yeah,
brother. I'd look like a fucking bad imitation. Hey, how you doing?
You do look a lot like him.
Back
though.
in
Yeah,
the time
yeah.
in Hollywood when everybody owned it. You know, Sly and Arnold and Bruce
Yeah.
and everybody owned it.
Yeah.
I brought Nicky C there
Oh, you
and
did?
introduced him to him, yeah.
But he works hard. He's doing a good job with
Yeah,
the
he's doing a
t-shirts.
great job.
Yeah.
Great job.
And they're going to open up a supposedly little Rocky museum on the steps.
They should have
That'll
all
be
that
big.
stuff, bro. They should have all that stuff. His hat, everything. That would
No,
be
they
bad.
do.
What do you mean? Otis?
They're opening up a Rocky store like at the bottom of the museum steps.
Oh, like Philly?
Yeah, with
That's a
all
good
that
idea.
stuff.
That's
Oh,
that's
shit.
pretty
Are you kidding
badass.
me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
There's
badass.
figure people come from Europe. Oh yes, I'm from Germany. I think I'll buy a
You know what?
Rocky hat.
I
you know?
was so mad when they took that statue down. That thing should have been there.
Okay, why was
now.
that though? Now, why was
I
that?
don't know. Why,
because
Frank?
because they thought, even though he willed it, to the city, it was his statue.
Dude.
It was in our backyard, tied to a tree. And then Philly says, "Can we have it?" So he gave it to them. And then all of a sudden, the commission, all haughty-taughty, well, it's not considered really art. And they took it down. They put it at the Spectrum, it kind of hidden away out in the back. And I said,
Yeah, that's it right
and
there.
the people in Philly were really pissed because
Yeah, bro.
let me
come
tell you
on.
something. No, look, I was at the museum doing mescaline. Like no one was there. So I mean, no
That's
one.
a piece of history. You
No,
should
but
have
no
stayed
one-
right
no-
on those
Yeah, bro.
stairs.
Come on,
I'm
bro.
serious. Before
Because
Rocky,
to the right today,
Fuck.
they'd be running up that stairs by that statue.
People
Of course.
do that. People
Doing
do
the same
that.
thing.
Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah.
Pictures of that, yeah.
No,
Everybody.
absolutely. But the thing was, it was very disrespectful, and the people got crazy because I will tell you this: nobody went to that museum until Rocky.
Right.
It,
Yeah,
it was
absolutely.
very. and you got these.
It was just there.
Yeah, there. You had these white waspy people. Oh, it's not really art. And so he went. I said, Sly, you know what I'd do? I'd take the statue back. Fuck him. You saw he has one in his office.
Yes.
He's got that statue in his office.
Yes, yes.
It's
Well,
huge.
I gotta tell you, still my
There
friend.
was two made.
Yeah.
There was two made. My friend's wife was one of the people that made that statue. I have that statue in pieces being made.
Schoenberg's
Oh, is
wife.
You know?
Schoenberg? The
Oh,
guy.
I know,
made-
but one of my friend's wives, one of the people, there was a lot of people involved in it. You know, molding it and sculpting it and everything else.
It's a great statue.
And forging it.
It's a great statue.
I have pictures of that, like just the arms and the body and
Yeah.
everything put before it was put together.
It's a great statue.
Yeah. And it still belongs on the top of the stairs.
It
I'm
really-
sorry.
That's why I think.
Absolutely.
And you know, the
absolutely.
people-
They should keep it to the people of Philly for their,
It's for
comments
them.
and
It's
yeah,
not
it's for
for
them.
We should put it at the airport.
Nah.
I mean, if you're
No,
going to put it
that
somewhere,
way
people
everybody can
coming
see
to
it.
Philly.
Everybody
But you
can
know
see
what's
it.
funny about this thing? I think if they would try to desecrate this statue like they did other
Oh,
ones,
forget
I
about
think
it.
Philly, they're going to fucking kill you.
Forget
Come on,
about
bro.
it.
Oh yeah, I think they'd like that better in the
That's
Christopher
the history,
Columbus
bro. You know what I'm talking
statue.
about? Come on, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know they took it down. I didn't know.
Well, it's part of the. You know what?
What's at the bottom now, right? The steps, like
Yeah,
to the right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Jimmy Binns was involved in putting it at the bottom, but I agree with Chuck. It should be up top.
It should have never been moved.
Well, that's where it
should have been
ended. You know what I'm talking about? That's
You know,
where he ended.
that's
Never
where it
moved.
started,
At the
and
top.
it should never ever been
This is
moved.
where it's at now.
Because to this day, people will be run up downstairs and you know,
The victory,
raising
bro.
their hands the
victory,
same way in front of
Do
that
you know how
statue.
many people visit that place?
Yeah,
Oh, millions.
Actually, disappointed knowing it's not up there anymore.
Yeah.
I know when I went.
Yeah, it hasn't been up there for
Didn't
a
Short
long...
Bus climb up those steps?
Who?
We have a buddy of ours who's a comic. He's in a wheelchair. And
he went
Eddie
up-
actually videotaped. He crawled up the stairs.
God bless him.
Really? We recorded it and we played the Rocky music behind it.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's class.
He wanted to do it. He tore up his fucking hands and
I bet.
he went backwards. He climbed up it backwards because he can't use his legs, so he climbed up the stairs
Jesus.
backwards.
Wow. He's got to be pretty strong to do that.
It's just
man.
he was wanted to make
but
a
that's
point.
just-
He's a great
that's a
kid.
piece of history right there, and it should have
No, I agree with you.
always be back there.
For generations to come, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Chuck, were you too young to remember? Do you remember the old Pennsylvania station? I think I remember the one that was all glass. Like they tore it down in the 60s or 70s.
Yeah.
The new Pennsylvania station's ugly, but the
Yeah.
old one where the old garden, the old Madison Square
Right.
Garden.
Yeah, the old
I think they
Madison
tore it
Garden.
down. What's like 67?
Penn Station now is under the
yeah,
the garden
But the
there.
real Penn
And
Station,
the Port of Authority is right behind it.
the real Penn Station was a piece of art. It was wrought iron and everything was glass.
Really?
And you couldn't. And they tore it down and they put this piece of
I
shit
hate
in.
when they do dumb shit like that.
Well, yeah.
You're changing history. That's what the problem is today.
yeah.
But it was beautiful.
Everybody's changing history. It's
Like
There's too much of that
I-
shit going on right now, brother. Taking this.
Oh, forget about it.
No sense.
I was walking past Jack Dempsey's where it was restaurant, and just like a little plaque there, and like George M. Cohan, who was the movie Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Yankee Doodle down. And
That
James
statue's
Cagney.
there, and no one even knows who it is. There's a
Yeah.
statue of George M. Cohan on Broadway, who had 5 hits at one time on Broadway. 5. He wrote "She's a Grand Old Flag" over there, and you look at it and you go, no one even knows.
Yep, nobody cares.
So-
And
it's a-
Eddie Foy and the 740s,
That's right.
they're from New Rochelle.
That's right.
Their park is right there in the corner.
That's right. What was that comedy store right around the corner from the old Sutton? When I used to play in Toronto, what was the comedy club?
Oh, Yuck Yucks.
Yuck Yucks. Was there one bit in the,
The
in
one
the
up by
80s?
Sutton, up by Sutton Place. It was up in Yorkville.
Yeah,
it was
that-
called Yuck Yucks. That's the one I started
Was
at.
there another one too?
There was 2 Yuck Yucks. One right by Sutton Place, and there was one uptown.
But was there another comedy store, or was that the one?
There was in the 80s. There was only that one, and there was Second City downtown.
Yuck Yucks. I remember. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
Yuck
was.
Yucks.
You know who I met? It was Mike McDonald.
Oh yeah, Mike passed away 2 years ago.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. He was a great guy.
Mike
Funny-
McDonald from
funny guy.
Doobie Brothers?
No,
No, he's a comedian from Canada,
okay,
Mike
okay.
McDonald.
Well, what's his name from Canada too? Norm.
Norm
right?
McDonald, Jim Carrey.
Yeah, what's Norm doing now?
Norm, he's killing the game, buddy. He's hilarious. Yeah,
He's so funny. He's so
he's so
weird.
sarcastic.
He's funny as shit.
Yeah.
He used to break my balls.
He's so irreverent. One night we were at the Laugh Factory. Me, Norm, and Jamie Masada, the guy that
Yeah.
owns the Laugh Factory. And me and Norm are standing there, and Jamie's like, "Buddy, everybody keeps giving me business card today. Look how many cards I got. This one, I have this guy. This one, he say it's agent. This one is manager. This one is plumber." Oh. And then he goes on to tell another story, and then Norm just goes, "Hey, Jamie, Do the thing with the cards again.
No, he is funny in interviews because he just goes off.
Oh yeah. He used to have a bad gambling problem. Though.
Did he?
I think he's got it. I think he beat it. I think the odds were stacked against him.
Yeah. But then he had his own show, which kind of died. I don't think he's good and scripted. I think he's good when he's
Yeah, they got to figure out how to make him be him. Let him be him.
yeah. Because he did that Norm. You know, I wanted to do the show and choke him because he always kept saying,
Oh yeah, but also
show a picture of me on the news on Saturday Night Live, and he goes, "What was it?"
It was
And
1997.
you guessed it, Frank Stallone. And they always have a picture of me behind. So in other words, today 400 people were killed in Middle East, and you guessed it, Frank Stallone. There would be a picture of my head. I said, well, since they're doing that, my first album cover, I said, let me come out from behind the picture and like attack them or something like that. I thought it'd be funny. They didn't think so, but he is funny.
Yeah, he's funny. Remember he had that one, it was on your documentary, it was GQ Magazine's funniest person of the year. You guessed it, Frank Stallone.
Yeah. I don't think he had anything personally.
No, it's kind of an irreverent reference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I remember he did Tom Green show. Is he still around?
Tom Green, he's back in Canada right now.
Tom was
There you are.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, did you ever work with Gino Vanelli back in the day?
No, but I know Ross and Joe. I thought Gino Vanelli was unbelievable. I saw him in a little club
Because
in
your
Philly.
music and his music reminds me of each other. It's the same era, so it's
Kind
like
of
that.
same era.
The Wheels of Life. Wheels of Life was his jam. That was his
Yeah,
song.
and
Gino was great.
And what was that song? I remember those nights in Montreal.
But the
I
Wheels of
just
Life was
wanna
Black
good.
cars look
stop.
better in the shade.
Yeah.
People gotta move.
Yeah.
I saw him in.
You wrote all those power ballads.
Oh, he was great.
You.
Oh yeah.
I love those fucking rock power ballads. They
know
used to
what, man?
excite me.
Yeah.
Take It Back is the one, brother.
Thank you,
Take
man.
It Back. Bro,
Yeah.
I love that song.
You know what's funny?
I would play it over when I was guys.
80s,
That was a
80s
badass song.
wasn't bad. 80s had some good.
Take It Back.
80s had a
had some-
sound.
Had a sound.
It was like the doo-wop thing you see in the corner,
Yeah.
bro. You know, that's what I
Well,
liked about it so much.
the wild thing for him is that, he did so many different styles of music, and he always managed to find something in each one.
And that's why they said I didn't have a big career because no one knew who the fuck I was. It was like all of a sudden I do a big band album, I do a country album.
Yeah.
And I said the thing was because I like all kinds of music and growing up as I grew up in bars, played everything. So I loved Sinatra. I loved, Merle Haggard. I loved, The Temptations. So I liked all that shit. So I incorporated it. But I think the first time I kind of incorporated everything was probably Staying Alive. But
Right.
other than that, I was all over the fuck.
What was that song again? The lead song again from it?
Far From Over.
Far From Over. So do you remember when you got sampled? There was a rapper named Sauce Money who sampled you.
Sauce.
Really?
Yeah, and it was actually a really dope song.
Was it? Fuck.
Yeah.
And he said, he's telling us
Sauce
some
Money
royalties over
sample.
there.
Probably got ripped off. Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it.
These guys, when they did Rocky V, this group called Snap or something, and they're talking about Take You Back. Yeah, man, we're doing this thing with our song. I go, whoa, your song. Fucking plagiarist prick. It's my song. It's not your fucking. They're kind of giving me the ideas on my own song because they're turning it into a rap song. No, it's my song. You're like doing your bullshit with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I said, first of all, it's not even that good. Thank you. I like the original shit.
The original, that was it, bro. That was
Well,
it.
that's what I grew up
I
with,
don't
doo-wop. I
mind
mean, he knows.
dreaming.
Before there was like the Beatles, all those
was the name
doo-wop
of that
groups,
song?
Johnny Maestro and the Crest, the Satins and all. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Jimmy
Satin.
Beaumont and the Skyliners. And that's what he did. It was all doo-wop. So that's what Sly goes. He goes, yeah, just do what you do. And he's right when he says in the documentary, he goes, but Frank used to do it for real. I did. I was young, so I had the high, squeaky voice, but I'd sing with guys older than me, and it was awesome.
To the background, right?
Yeah, if you see Live from Daryl's house, I'm singing Take
I
You
got to
Back.
look for that, bro. I didn't know that because I used to love that show, bro.
But I'm singing with
You get a
Daryl.
chance.
I'm gonna-
Emilio,
no,
if you get a
it's on
chance,
YouTube.
watch
I'll watch it, bro.
his,
Yeah, I love that show.
documentary is
I didn't know you
awesome.
were on there, bro. Yeah. I remember Smokey
documentary
was
is
on there.
awesome.
CeeLo Green was on there. He used to have everybody on there, bro. And he would play their songs,
Yeah, oh no,
Fuck
that's
it.
a great show.
you get shot
I
at?
got shadow banned because I had 160,000 followers, and that's 6 months ago. It's never changed. And I've done like Brian Kilmeade, I did Sean Hannity, I did Mike Huckabee, and promoting my movie. And still, I said, wait a second. The guy goes, bro, you shadow banned. I go, what for? Fuck did I do?
I don't even know about Shadow
What
Band.
is shadow band? What does that mean?
What it means is
They
it goes
stop you from getting any more followers.
any more followers.
Thanks, Paulie.
Really?
And it's really bullshit.
Yeah,
That's
it
not
is.
right. I mean, we should have freedom of speech. I mean, you know what?
Oh yeah, you think?
Yeah.
That'd be a good thing to have nowadays. But even
Yeah.
remember, Ice-T had an album in the '90s called "Freedom of Speech."
please,
Just
brother.
watch
Thank
what
you,
you
sir.
say.
Yeah, yeah, but that's the thing, man. And I'm saying, I said, you're really affecting my business because, I'm trying to I'm working here and you're like stifling me. That's not fair.
I do a show right now called On My Block. It's a coming of age show. So I got 100,000 of my followers are kids, coming of age kids. So I got to be real careful what I do.
Absolutely.
One of my friends called me up. She goes, Emilio, can you put our show, plug it for the upcoming season? Without watching the show, I put it up, right? So I started getting these messages from parents of the kids. So, Emilio, we respect you, sir. Very respectful. They said, but we can't have our kids watching the show. So I watched the show, bro, and it's like girl on girl and stuff like that. It was a great show. And it messed me up. You know what I'm saying?
That's you. Frank, is that you? I mean, Emilio, is that you chilling with your nomies?
That's the show I'm doing right now.
There we go.
Our last season right now.
So you have a show like talking about positivity, go to school, be a good kid.
Well, I do. I go around all over the juvenile halls and I speak to kids, inner city kids. Don't do drugs, don't do gangs.
I don't think so. It might.
But the show,
I think you have WhatsApp.
but the show on Netflix has 1.3 billion viewing hours. So I got a lot of kids that are following me, bro.
Well, you know what? They should follow me. That's why I thought that documentary, the first one in the 70s, Scared Straight, was brilliant.
It's great, right?
These guys, remember the side of the
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't go tell me shit.
Come on, there's a man right there.
See that kid right there?
Yeah.
That's the next Tris Tucker right there, bro. That's the show I'm doing right now. With me and the Nomies, him, Jamal. It's funny cat.
When these guys went in the Rawway prison, these
Remember
kids,
that?
shit, they're going, man, no one tells me what to do. And all of a sudden, he's sitting there on that bench crying like a little bitch. Going, the guy said, take them motherfucking shoes off, boy. He goes, see that pretty blue eyes? How about I take it out and squish it? They're fucking killers.
That Scared Straight, the first one back in the day was good,
Like
brother.
these
It
guys.
was good.
That's what I'm saying. The first one, the guy goes, I'm in for rape, murder, arson, and they even took my motherfucking eye
And no
out. So
microphone.
What do you think's gonna happen? No, but I'm just saying, these are lifers, man. So he goes,
don't
I
give
could
up.
actually kill you right now on this TV show. What are they gonna do? Give me another life
That's what he
sentence?
said. That's what he said.
Remember?
Yeah.
He said, man, when I tell you to jump, I want to see the bottom of your goddamn feet. And I'm going like this. And these kids are all talking heavy, man, going
They
in.
tried to do it again, brother, but
Didn't
it was
work.
it was too soft, bro. It was too soft. It was too
Well,
soft.
now because there's too many
bad.
legal options. Too
Exactly,
many.
exactly.
There's too much legality
But
happening.
these guys were going, I'll tell you right. I was with Ken Norton, and they used to have fights at Rawway where the inmates would fight like, pros or something. There were a few amateurs
Remember,
from my team.
James Scott came from Rawway.
That's right. And I
And
got
he
a
fought
picture.
for the title in Rawway.
I know. I got a picture of James Scott and I when I was there.
Yeah.
And it's pretty kind of rare. So all of a sudden I'm sitting there with Ken Norton. He just won the title. And he's huge. And I'm walking through like into the thing. It was, I think Howard Cavesell. I forget who was there, but I'm
Howard
walking
Cavesell.
through and here's like the gate, the yard. This is Ken Norton. Hey, bitch, I got something for your ass. Hey.
Telling Ken this.
Talking to Ken, I'm there. Like, holy shit! I'm thinking, can you imagine if I was in there, like white kid, had like afro, I'm saying to myself, this is the heavyweight champion of the world, and they don't give a shit. He said, man, I got something for you. Come on that fence, bitch. And I'm there, whoa. I'm going like, whoa.
Kenny just washed it, blew it off.
Yeah, I'm
That's
saying
a
to
great
myself,
picture right there.
I would be. Oh yeah, where's that?
Jerry Cooney, you, your brother.
Oh, that's at the Rocky Balboa thing. In Vegas.
Barkley's right
That's
beside your brother.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Norton.
there's what's his name?
There's Mancini, no? Is that
Man-
Mancini?
Mancini in the top
Zito.
left.
Oh, what's the guy? What's his name? The Hawk. Aaron Pryor.
Aaron Pryor.
Pryor,
Mike
yeah.
McCallum. Isn't that Mike McCallum?
Let's see.
That's
Jerry
a good one
Cooney.
right there, man. Where's
Yeah.
Cooney? Where's Cooney at, bro? I don't see
Right
Cooney.
there.
Cooney-
a lot
Cooney's
of
right there.
guys,
With
man.
the standing up
with
on the
blonde
right.
hair, okay,
There's
right.
Kevin King. You know who's? Oh, Roger Mayweather. There's Kenny Norton in the back.
Yeah, look who's putting his face behind your head.
Who is that? Oh,
Rob Lowe.
Huh?
Who is
That's
that?
fucking Kevin King.
Kevin King.
Oh, Frank Bruno's in there too. Looks like in the middle.
You see Kevin King behind you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's Ken Norton.
he's sticking his head in there.
Yeah. Who's the one next to
That's
Vito
all.
with that hair? Who's that?
David Hasselhoff.
Oh, with the hair?
I don't know
That
that.
is David Hasselhoff.
No,
It looks,
No,
like,
that's not.
it looks like Rob Lowe.
It looks like Rob Lowe. I know.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's not Rob
No?
Lowe.
Or the Hawk.
It could be the Hawk. Look how big I ran.
Is that Manny Stewart's forehead behind?
Oh, that's Eddie Mustafa Muhammad behind Sly's head. Right
AKA Eddie Davis.
there.
Yeah.
And
Look how big Cooney was.
Cooney's a big dude. Huh?
Big
Yeah.
dude.
Jerry would be heavy. With
Cooney's still in good shape.
Is he? Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
not. Yeah. First
Yes.
of all, his hands are this big.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's Hasselhoff. Yeah.
It is Hasselhoff.
David
Wow.
Hasselhoff.
That was in
It
Vegas.
is, David, yeah.
Were you there, Chuck? For Rocky Balboa?
Who's that in the front center?
Yeah.
Vito Anafirma?
Oh shit.
You don't win a firm. Still wears his golden gloves still to this day.
How tough was he?
Yeah.
Jerry Cooney used to hit him in the gym with a left hook that would kill people. Vito was a middleweight, a small middleweight, and Vito go, "Hey, not too bad." He's from Italy. He's a primitive. Look how big his head is. He's Cro-Magnon. And he used to cut so many times. Remember?
Yeah.
Like at the weigh-in.
He used
At
to
the
cut.
weigh-in,
He used to
started
cut the
bleeding.
dressing room.
That's a great joke, bro.
The way. So here's the thing. So he's from Italy. He had an Italian accent. He's from my father's body. He goes, they said, "Well, Vito, I heard you had an operation, had all your bones like kind of filed because he used to cut. They were sharp." He goes, "Yes, I got to take care of the bones today." So he gets in a fight and he gets cut. Oh, God, look at that. So he gets cut here, like about 6 cuts. And they go, "Vito, well, you got cut this fight. These are new cuts." The old, nothing else opened up there. These are new cuts. He must have had easily, Chuck, 300 stitches in his career.
My God.
He's got lids. He's like
Yeah.
Herman Munster. But he was tough, man. He'd run 20-some miles a day.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. No, he was really tough.
He's still alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had
Oh,
a
yeah.
Coca-Cola route,
He
right?
just called me a little while, fucking
Vito Antifermo called you?
2 weeks ago.
Chuck.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a little punchy now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Chuck, how you doing?
Hey, he goes,
How old is he now?
Anything. He's
80?
my age.
Yeah, yeah.
No, Vito?
Oh, of course.
He's only 68?
68, 69.
Sure, he was fighting.
You're
in
looking
the
good, brother. You're looking good,
Yeah.
bro. Fuck.
68.
Hell yeah.
But he called me. He goes, "Hey, anything coming up? You get me a job in the movies?" I said, "Vito, I'm not even working. I'm trying to get a job. I'm trying to get a job myself."
Vito. It's not like Vito's a thespian.
Chuck's the most connected unemployed guy I know.
I
Absolutely.
can't believe I'm wearing a bolo tie back then.
Vito was in The Godfather.
Yes, he was. Godfather 3, right?
Oh, yeah.
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 Boy, that was a failure. Wow.
Did your brother ever want to be in any of those?
He was going to direct it. No, he
Wow.
was going to direct Cotton Club. I think he was going to direct 80s. I think they wanted him to direct or be in Cotton Club. I was over at Bob Evans' house. He didn't want to do it. He would have played the Richard Gere part, which I think he would have probably done a really good job. Whoops.
You're too strong for your own
Yeah,
good,
I know.
Frank.
Yeah, I can't believe. I knew I always loved. I grew up with horses and stuff, but here I am with a fucking bolo tie in 1960.
Did you guys have money growing up, bro?
Not really. No. Yeah, what? I guess you don't even know if you do.
Dig it.
My father always had a Cadillac.
Is that right?
Who knows?
Right
What
on.
did a Cadillac cost? Like $2,000.
Yeah. Still a lot of
My
money,
father
bro.
had
Yeah.
a 58 Cadillac.
So did mine.
Yeah, 58.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, your stepfather, was he Italian too?
Yeah, that was the guy that I think was mobbed up because no one knew what he had an Italian food company, pizza company, and everyone was friends. So he comes to Philly to watch Mike Rossman fight Aldo Travasino at the Spectrum. He's there. He's from Philly. He goes, "I want you to meet Joe Gambino. This is Carlos's son." He's there. "Hey, how you doing?" Like not like a gangster type. I'm there. Okay. I'm there like, and then he always had like when they shot Rocky was guerrilla film.
Was it? Yeah, really?
Fuck no. So Joe Letizia, Joe Scrappy, like had all these union guys. All that shit was an accident. They didn't, that wasn't like legal.
Really?
Like the thing at the museum steps, they just were driving around and go, "Hey, that might be a good idea." Run up. That wasn't in the script.
Wow.
But all those guys, those people, extras, like, "Hey, screw you, creepo, Marie." That was Joe Letizia's daughter. He goes, "You put my daughter in the movie, I'll get some things going."
Was Joe Spinell awesome or
The
what?
best.
He was great.
Hey,
Everything
my
he
ears,
did.
my ears. Come
Is it
on.
cool?
Hey, Rock. Some people just hate, Oh, but Joe was good in everything. I love Spinell, man. He was good
He
in
was
everything.
great. Everything.
He was Gazzo.
Even Nighthawks, he was great.
He was.
As a cop.
But him and Sly had a falling out. I don't know why. Joe was kind of a goofy guy. He used to hang around with Tony Conforti a lot, right?
Yeah.
They're all dead.
Tony died years ago, man.
know.
Tony died
Great
young.
conversation, bro.
Phil Carlo died, didn't he?
I'm having a good time, man.
Yeah.
But bad death.
Bad.
ALS.
Lou Gehrig's still, yeah.
But you know, I didn't know he was a hell of a writer, man. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He wrote 10 books.
Didn't he write Son of Sam? Or no, he wrote The Night Stalker?
He wrote The Night Stalk. He wrote The Gas Pipe. He wrote
Gasso?
Yeah, Gas. Yeah.
He's a
Pipe,
really
yeah.
good writer, man.
Yeah. He wrote so many books.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because I used to see him at Columbus. I just thought, you know.
And he wrote some good plays. I did one of my first play for him.
Really?
Yeah. Me and Paul Herman.
Who was the guy that always used to go up there? He limped a little bit. Spiro.
Spiro.
Who was he?
That was his
Yeah.
hand.
What did he
Spiro.
do? What was he like?
He
Just
was connected guy, Spiro.
he was?
Yeah.
Was he Greek or
I
Italian?
don't know what he was.
But a nice guy.
Yeah.
I used to sit there. It would be him,
Spiro's a very Greek.
Frankie Gio,
Yeah, Frankie Gio.
Tony.
Remember
Tony.
Frankie Gio? Frankie Gio's tough.
You bet your ass he was tough. And Frankie Gio and Tony. I mean Junior
Danza?
Sirico.
Oh, John Sirico,
They'd be
yeah.
sitting there. But you know, Frankie Gio, remember the King of New York with Chris Walken?
Absolutely.
And he was
Yeah.
the mob guy at the table.
Absolutely.
Hey, he was another guy, like 60 years old, was light. He was tough, man.
Tough.
Oh yeah. No, who else was tough was Burt Young.
That was,
was gonna ask you about him, yeah.
You know, Burt Young was like 17-0.
Yeah.
Really?
You know, when
I've
he was
always heard
24,
Burt Young
yeah.
was a tough guy.
Yeah.
Oh no.
He had like 17-0 pro fights.
Yeah.
And he was, before that, he was
Late
an
breaker.
amateur champion.
But they said what he really was. Remember the movie The Gambler when he comes in and breaks up the room like with James Caan? Hey, you owe money. Remember that? That's what he did. And remember his brother Bobby?
Look at him, man. Yeah.
Remember his brother Bobby?
Oh, what is? I didn't know that, bro. I didn't know.
No,
We fought the same night. The first time they ever had
Hey, he
celebrity
looks
boxing.
like a little pretty badass right there,
Bert?
right?
Bert fought Bo Dietl.
How'd he do?
They beat him. And he was
Bert was a tough,
10 years older than
Bert was a heavyweight. He weighed about 185, like Rocky Marciano, but he was tough, man.
that's what Bo Dietl used to say. He goes, I went out there just to box, so he thought this was a real fight,
No, fucking Frank beat the shit out of.
There he is. That's Burt Young.
That's a
Wow.
great picture, bro.
That's Burt Young.
That's crazy. And he has a real Italian name. It's not even Burt Young.
Correa.
Yeah. Hey, what about when you beat the shit out of Geraldo?
Geraldo who?
Geraldo
Rivera.
You fought
Your-
Geraldo
your
Rivera?
uncle.
Fighter. It was huge.
Who was the referee?
Arthur McCann. So I'm getting all this pressure. My brother goes, you fucking guy, you can't let him beat you. You know, Puerto Rican fucking newscaster beat you up. So I'm there like, he goes, so we have this. And then Geraldo had done an expose or something on organized crime. So all of a sudden I go to Gleason's gym. Now remember, this is for charity. All of a sudden these guys are standing around the gym. Hey, doing? Like with sunglasses. Look, I got 20,000. You kick this guy. I go, whoa, wait a second now. Now I got organized crime involved. I said, this is like a church. I'm not getting paid for this shit, right?
Oh,
But these
man.
guys are sitting there. Yeah, not for nothing, Frank. I got some 20 large. You knocked this fucking guy out. I go, no, this is charity. Fuck charity. Listen. And so now I'm representing.
That's a great story, bro.
I'm
That's a fucking
representing
great
the Italian fucking underworld. And this is.
This
so-
fucking guy tried to expose us.
tried to expose us. So here's the deal. Geraldo said they were going to get. We could have sold Nassau Auditorium out. I've never been there, but he said with this fight because
Long
nobody
Island.
liked Geraldo. Was it Nassau Coliseum?
That's
Right.
Coliseum.
In Long Island.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've never been there. But so the thing was, I'm so stupid. I didn't I need a manager. I didn't have anybody. I could have probably made $100,000.
Oh, easily.
So what did I make?
Forget about it.
Nothing. A $10,000 check for Geraldo and went to charity. And my guys and my brothers go, not only are you stupid, but if I had if I had a manager, if you sold that now, because it was huge. Howard Stern was huge then. This was the biggest show he had ever had to that point.
What was that Mayweather fight this last week? And how much did they make? They made some money,
Like
right?
90 million.
They did okay.
Oh,
Mayweather didn't do himself any favors because if that was Durant would have knocked him out.
Yeah, but Mayweather's never been that aggressive style.
No. Listen,
Mayweather just wanted to show you, listen, I know you think you boxed, but you're not going to be able to hit me. It's like, remember when Sugar Ray Leonard...
But he did hit him.
Yeah, not clean.
But Floyd
Remember when
didn't
Sugar
do
Ray
too well.
Robinson paid people, if you can, I'll let you go around with me. If you can hit me, I'll give you $100.
About the greatest.
Robinson would just dance around.
10 million just for showing up, and we'll earn 50% of the pay-per-view.
Thank you.
Wow.
And Logan will probably make
He
about
made
20 million.
250 plus 10% of pay-per-view revenue.
10%. So that's 250,000.
Yeah.
No, Logan Paul, really? No, he made more than that.
No, he made 250, but he's, without Mayweather, the fight meant nothing.
Right.
No.
Yeah, of course.
So you got to give the lion his share.
Right.
But it's funny when I do that Geraldo thing. It was called the Scrapple and the Apple, and I'll never forget. I used to go on Howard. Okay, here's Howard would start stuff. And then he'd
Remember
punk out.
Vinny?
Yeah, we're Vinny, right? And then and then one day he's talking. He's like ragging on Gotti. Remember when Gotti just got out, won the case? And I'm doing the show with David Brenner. And we're sitting there talking, and then Howard starts talking about Gotti, going, I guess he got. I said, and David and I go, ooh. I said, so when we go to commercial, I said, are you out of your fucking mind? If we ever said anything about John Gotti, we'd never get out of the studio. What are you, fucking nuts? I go, don't joke around like that. And David said, yeah, don't joke around like that. Because he was joking around. I'm saying, think of waiting for us outside. If you said something bad about John Gotti. So then I'm doing the show to promote something, and Vinny Paz is coming in. Vinny Paz. We were there the night before we went to Scores with Chuck. We're friends, right? So this guy's like a 5-time world champion.
He is 5-time world champion.
Yeah, he is 5. So Chuck's sitting there, we're laughing, having a good time. And I knew. He goes to Chuck, hey, Chuck, you can kick Vinny's ass, can't you? I'm there like, you motherfucker.
Who said that to you?
Or Howard said
I was trying to get
Chuck.
me and Vinny to fight.
Right.
So he goes, Chuck, you could kick Vinny's ass. And Vinny's there. And they still have egos. They're friends, but, he's still. He goes, hey, Chuck, I really like you, but, I don't know. Chuck's there, and he was fucking pissed. Well, because he was still in the Angels. He's there. He goes, what are you trying to do to me, man? You put me on the spot with my friend. He was pissed. And Howard goes, oh, I didn't mean that. Chuck was going to choke him.
I said, how? He's not 5-time world champion for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, he puts you on the spot, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I still listen to this term, bro. He puts you on the spot.
Yeah, but
He stopped doing that to people now, though.
It's all different. The show's all
I went
different
up
now.
there one
Yeah.
time, right? What happened? He said something bad about the Hells Angels or something, disrespectful.
really stupid.
So I went up there. I go up there unannounced. I don't even tell them I'm coming. I just walk right through. And they said, and it was.
Did you have your patch on?
Oh, absolutely. And I get, Chuck's here. Supposedly I said something bad. He's coming out and straighten it out and all. And didn't realize it was his birthday that day. So his lawyer.
The fat guy, the Italian guy.
Yeah.
Al Barbera, Barber.
Yeah, and he brings him one of those red fly wagons.
Yeah.
They call it.
The flyer,
Radio
American
flyer.
flyer.
Radio
Full of vodka and stuff. Grey Goose.
Yeah.
And I says, Howard, I'm here, but you know what? I'm not going to beat you up on your birthday. My present to you is you're not going to get beat up today. Well, what'd I do? I said, you said something disrespectful. Don't bring up the Hells Angels no more, ever. Because they were going to come up here, but since we're friends, I'm taking care of it. And
He was shitting his pants.
Hey, Howard, happy birthday. He goes, give it to Chuck and the boys. And he got so mad. The lawyer, I took the whole...
And he doesn't even drink.
Yeah, I didn't take it. I still have the bottle. He signed it to me that day, and I gave the rest of it to the Hells Angels.
Did the Hells Angels hear about that he said that?
Huh?
Did the Hells Angels know that he said something weird?
Oh, yeah, they were going to go up there. And I said, look, he's my friend. I'll go up there and I'll take care of it.
Oh, man, that would have been bad.
Yeah. It was crazy. One year we did, I think it was, I don't know what, I think it was 99. When we escorted, it was 18 Hells Angels. We escorted the whole NWO, Hulk Hogan, and everybody into the ring in Nashville, in Knoxville, Kentucky.
Wow.
Knoxville, Tennessee. Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh my God.
And we escorted. So the plan was, because they were the bad guys, and Eric Bischoff comes to me, look, I want you guys just go ride down the ring, escort them down there, park your bikes, and just stand there. He goes, but you got to realize these guys are the bad guys. And the audience is going to start throwing shit at them. I said, let me tell you something. Anybody hits me, or one of my brothers, we're going to start stabbing and slapping people.
Yeah.
He goes, you know what? Don't even stop. Just go around the ring and go in the back.
How about if someone threw a can to hit one of their bikes?
But
man.
it was the greatest entrance in wrestling history.
There it
It
is.
was in
There it is.
Hulk Hogan. Yeah, that's it right there. It was Hulk Hogan and the rest of the NWO, and we escorted him into the ring.
Did Hulk come in on a bike too?
No. Just the Hells Angels.
Oh, wow. There they go.
And the crazy thing about it, as soon as they go out to the ring, people start booing them because we were there. They started cheering and clapping and everything. Oh, yeah. And even Hulk, as he's walking, goes, "What's going on, man? This must be, booing us and shit, But it was the greatest
You still got
entrance.
that
As soon as we pulled out, everybody was cheering and clapping.
Oh, yeah.
And he's next to me.
That's
Goes,
a badass entrance right there.
man, they're supposed to be booing us, man. What's going on, man? They're clapping,
Oh, it's great, man.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So we were supposed to go around the ring, stop, park the bikes, and stand there. And when I said we'll start stabbing and slapping people, he goes, you know what? Just go around the ring and go in the back again.
Oh, yeah. That would not have been a good idea.
Yeah,
No.
that's me right there.
Wow, look at that bike. You still have that
Yeah.
bike, don't you?
Well, actually, I'm trading it back. A friend of mine, I sold that to my nephew, and sold my '70 Chevelle to my friend. They wound up trading each other.
Uh-huh.
And I just bought my '70 Chevelle back from my
you
nephew,
have
and I'm
70?
getting that one back
a good looking
from
What
my
car.
color
friend
is the
Scotty.
Chevelle?
Black,
Is it
white
tricked
stripes.
out or is it pretty just normal?
Just all stock. But
The
this was the
Chevelle SS?
greatest. Yes.
Oh, look at
It's
this.
a good
This
looking
was
car.
the greatest entrance in wrestling history.
Well,
I don't
look
care
at
what they say.
Hells Angels, man.
Yeah, they came from Illinois. They came from Kentucky. They came from South Carolina.
These are the real dudes, man.
Yeah, these are the real guys.
Saki-
So I
With
never
both
actually
these legends.
I never actually introduced this episode. And on today's episode of Culturally Cancelled, I have my dear friend, my brother, my family member, Charles Carmine Zito, sitting beside me. And he called in two of his buddies, who I will now consider my friends if they
Yes.
will let me.
Yes, sir.
The legendary actor, comic, Cholo Vato, Emilio Rivera.
Thank you, brother. It was a pleasure to be here. It really was a pleasure to
And,
be here, brother. I'm with legends over here, brother.
And
I'm with legends.
legendary singer, songwriter, musician, actor, Frank Stallone is here too. So,
with all his bad mic technique.
horrible.
Hey, yes.
Yeah, the one singer.
And if you
The
haven't
one
seen
singer-
this documentary,
When he puts-
tune in to Amazon
Oh yeah, it's on
Prime
Amazon.
and watch
Yeah, Stallone.
Frank, that is.
Yeah, it's Frank Stallone. If you go see Frank Stallone in concert, he tends to put his guitar down while he's playing.
That's right. Yeah, that's true. And start playing my mic. It's like,
That's
Awesome.
this episode of Culturally Cancelled. I'm Russell Peters. Thank you, guys.
thank you, people.
Ciao.